welcome to Gorilla Radio number 226. This will be the last time you see us until state.
So Friday night.
Yeah, 2 days off of Gorilla Radio this week. That's crazy.
Bro, it is crazy because I feel like the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks have been like crazy, like media driven. Like we've been all over the place.
Yeah, we did 2 regional weeks. We did 2 or 4 semi-state week, and now we're doing 2. And I also did Sunday, and then we're gonna do Friday. So
then the regional week, I did the live broadcast of the regional, and I did the Vargo podcast. So
yes, so
the deep water.
The deep waters. I will say I'm glad to be here with everyone. Did have a driving experience with my daughter. That was fun. I told Mike we're gonna rank top 5 things we'd rather do than teach my daughter to drive today.
Man, I had to try to teach my mom to drive one time. My mom's never driven. I tried to teach her to drive. It didn't go great. I'm not. It was one of those things. Like she thought. I don't know if she thought drive was reversed. She went straight. We almost went down a hill. I said, "Get out, get out. We're not doing this."
Yeah, we were going up with the driveway, and I swear she was gunning it. I'm like, dude, there's a brake. So she did okay.
You gotta be careful, man. We found out there's a lot of police in the group chat, man. You gotta make sure you can't be telling them.
She's legal. She is 100% legal. She is 15.
So. Bro, I'm gonna try to like use all these like police connections to get out of tickets, man.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna be the guy that says you know who I am because I feel like those guys always get batoned. I'm not trying to get batoned. That's pretty low on my list. That's probably one of the things I'd rather not do than drive with my kid.
Yeah. Oh, that was you don't want to get tased like some people did at Folkstyle State, or no, it's Freestyle State back in the day.
Classic. That was a classic story.
I brought that up to somebody like a week or two ago, and they're like, "What?" And they're like, "So but they're parents now, so they're way out of the whole."
Bro, the best was one of the participants of the match's father. I was at his birthday party with the other participant of the match's father, and they're telling the story. I never heard it before.
Yeah,
I never had heard it, and the non-tased father's telling it, and I'm like, "That's crazy," and no one's like saying anything, and I'm like, "This happened." They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "You know who it was? He still wrestles." And I'm like, "Who?" They're like, "That guy right there." I was like, and he's like, "Yeah," and did they explain it in a way like, and I get it, man. Sometimes, security can be a little overzealous.
Security, yes. Oh yeah.
Who are the must-see guys at these weight classes?
All of them.
I mean, everyone's got a dog in the race in this one.
Yes. Yeah. So just as a lead up, we're going to since we are going way earlier than usual, we're going to chit chat. We are going to rank our favorite singlets. So that will be good. I'm sure find some pictures of your favorite singlets. I think we both have pretty good top 5.
I think so too.
And there's some good honorable mentions. Just going through some old state pictures and stuff, trying to find some. And then there's actually 1 or 2 that I couldn't find a good picture for that I think would have made the list if I could have found a good picture. So those guys should have won in those matches. So.
Well, I think like with that too is like sometimes people forget these are like our opinions of what we like sometimes.
Yes.
Like if we were ranking milk, I wouldn't even rank. I would just.
Oh, that reminds me. I was just thinking, there's something I want to say. Have you seen the social media post from the IGSA after the state finals?
Nope.
You're going to be grossed out this year.
No, it's going to be a milk one, so they're drinking milk?
Yes, the whole theme is champions drink milk, so they all drink. I don't know if it's individuals or it's going to be the team or what, but they drink milk after they win state. So you're going to be absolutely grossed out.
So like they're going to make all those kids drink milk down there?
Yeah, I don't know what. I assume it's just like the team champions. I think that's what they do with the girls. But you are staying and you're gonna watch them drink.
It's gross. It's gross, man. It smells bad. Like, oh man, gotta ruin my Saturday night. I expected to vomit at Saturday night. I didn't expect to vomit at the state finals.
You're staying for that. I'm gonna whoever wins, because we're good friends with the best teams. I'm gonna get them to get you a swig.
Oh man, don't do that. Man, I don't know if I could on it.
Okay, I'm making a group chat with all the coaches and saying, if you guys win, you got to get Mike to take a swig of the milk also.
Bro, oh man, it'd be so bad. Like just
I will donate $1,000 to your program.
Just thinking about that makes me want to throw up, honestly.
But man, you perfect, because you're gonna be absolutely grossed out.
Man. So Friday night. It sounds like Thursday night. If you're going down, we're celebrating Dane's 40th birthday party. That's going to happen in a couple weeks. I think he said it's a couple weeks out, but he wants to celebrate with his best friends.
Yeah. No, I didn't get did I get an invite? He never sent me an invite.
I think he just told me, and I was like, and I think he told me before when he was telling me about how do you get an you got to know the guy, man.
You got to be in the right place at the right time.
I think we can get my man Sandusky a shirt. Like if Joe remembers them.
Yeah, I gotta. That is on the to-do list of grabbing some gear.
My to-do list is make sure I bring this mixer.
Yes, that's your only. I have to do articles and finish up our media guide. It's pretty close to being done. I thought I was gonna be able to get it done today, but then I had a near-death experience with my daughter. So,
and I think I think some people we probably should say this before everyone gets there. Some shirt sizes are more popular than other shirt sizes.
Yes.
So, sometimes you run out, man. You can only carry so many shirts.
Yeah. So I'll get a bunch and we'll give them out. We will be giving them out Friday at the after party. So come there.
Yeah.
My daughter I guess she's watching. She said, you did not have a near-death experience.
I mean, that's not always true. Like, death is relevant to whoever's in there, man.
Yes.
You could have been having, some, tightness in your chest.
Yes. There was a lot of tightness there. There's a lot of breathing. So
you're tuning in. Obviously, yesterday we covered the first round. What would be the first round on
first
Friday? The first session.
Session 1A. There'll be a 1 hour break. I love this format. I know some people don't like it. I know the tickets. We got tickets. We have to get tickets just like the regular common folks. I was on there at noon, and it was click a section, and then the seats disappeared. Ended up getting decent seats, so we're good.
Man, that whole lower bowl looked like it was pretty sold out.
Yeah, except for some random. If you're going by yourself, you can find a spot pretty easily. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Solo rider over here, guys.
So that'll be a lot of fun. We have to I got the tickets, so hopefully you were able to get tickets. There's still some decent. I checked like at 2 or 3 o'clock, and there were some in the lower bowl still available. There's really not a bad seat if you want to sit up in the higher areas. So.
I mean, like if you go way to the tip top, probably not as cool. I went up there one time because Reese wanted to go there, but man, it's high, dude. And it's pretty steep.
Yeah.
Actually, the worst seat the worst time I ever went there and had a seat was we went to we were playing a tournament at Grand Park, and we just had like a lot of downtime, and we went and watched the Fever play. Completely sold out. Yeah. Like I was like Caitlin Clark's first triple double. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't watch a lot of women's basketball. And we had a couple of basketball players on the team that were going crazy. I was like, that happens in the NBA a pretty good amount, Russell Westbrook did it for a whole season. And I was like, does it not happen in the WNBA a lot? They're like, no. I said, oh, all right, well, cool. That's awesome. We were there for it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that should be a great weekend. As we said, join us Friday after party at the hangar. It was a lot of fun last year. Hopefully we get another big group. I think come out. You can if you're good enough, we'll get you on the mic. And the parents are actually really good because they've been on the circuit. Well, most are.
Depending on the type of day they're having.
Yes.
We're 50-50 with our guy. You know, he was good one year. Then the second year he dropped some cuss words.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's the parents are good though because they have a lot of knowledge. They've been on the trips with the kids. They know a lot of good stuff, and then they've also done deep dives in their kids' weight classes. Like they know these kids back and forth, and like, oh yeah, we wrestled him 6 years ago at ISWA folk style, and then they Grand River Rumble in the this and that. So
Yeah. So this will be our third year doing it. It's pretty cool. I mean, I really enjoy it, and then I think it gives us a good time to have. Man, I gotta get. Is that my guy T Horn? I gotta give him a call back, man. My phone's been going crazy with work and everything. So, but it's really cool. It's cool to get the people there, especially a lot of people from the chat are there. It is kid friendly, right? You can go in there if you're a kid.
We bring kids. I'm bringing my family. I'm not.
Order
a little bit of food, some pizzas and stuff, and some appetizers. So first come, first serve.
I'll be a solo rider this weekend.
We're bringing Dustin, so we might not have much food.
Yeah, I'm solo riding this weekend. Noemi has a dance on Friday, and I guess it's a pretty cool thing.
Well, I heard Kimmy didn't want to go because we weren't staying in the train rooms.
Bro, I was actually not. No, I like the homeless suite. I think homeless suites ranks higher on my list than the train hotel. But I was shocked to see a train in there. And I was actually double shocked when I found out we could have stayed in the train.
It was very intrigued.
I think it was haunted. It might have been haunted. I mean, I think the Hilton Garden Inn, if you're staying there, I think that is haunted. So
hopefully you got a refundable room now.
Yeah. So like there were some ghosts.
Yeah.
We started doing like clay pottery. It was pretty intense.
Oh geez. Oh, this is good. This is great. So anyway, we're gonna talk the great. Let's see. I gotta share my screen. Where is my?
Yes, dude. I'm not gonna be solo. Eric said he got me.
You guys riding down together?
I did that with Hector Mendez one time. It's probably a one and done for me. I'm gonna drive myself. We were doing probably almost 100 the whole way there, and I was like, he's the police. He's good at this. And he's like, hey, you want a drink? And I was like, oh, cool. What did you bring? He's like, oh, I've been drinking this vodka, this Tito. And I was like, man, you know what? Cut that part out. We're not going to say that part.
He got extra tickets too. Wow. I mean, he's buying all his friends now.
Dude, that's because he's the man, bro. He probably had some algorithm to get it. He fixed. I'm telling you, he's a tech wizard. He made the show at the 219 show work.
Yeah. What section? We're in section 14, row 8 and 9. Just so you guys know. So crap, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, you guys understand, right? I'm always happy to see everybody.
Yeah, no, it was actually it's a lot of fun because especially like last year we learned about catfish.
Yeah,
you're like, who are you guys yelling at? They're like catfish. Like who's catfish? So now we call them catfish. So toss the section you're in on there, and they're right next to us. So
nice.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a party section then.
Yeah, so
we can't be like a bougie guy like Jason Miller and be in the box.
Yeah, or Cameron Sakon who he's like, oh, I can get you one ticket. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. You know, I thought we had friends. You know, yeah, it's amazing how many friends we don't have when it comes to getting us in a suite.
Like and I'm talking lower suite. You know, nice level. Dude, one time like one of the suites was like just empty. And we brought a guy down here who never wrestled or anything. He was just one of my boys from like the hood, kind of. He's from the hood. And he like jumped up in the suite and just put his feet up and started watching wrestling and no one said anything to him.
Nice.
So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend that, but also, I mean.
If you have a spot for like 4 to 8 people in your suite we will give you gear for that for sure. That's 100% easiest way to get gear.
If you actually, my boy said he has a suite at Lucas Oil for his company. So if you guys want to trade suites with them,
yeah.
If there's any events, he said he went to Taylor Swift last year with his daughter, and like he's going to monster truck racing. He said we should like try to trade my suite at the Lucas Oil Stadium. I said, bro, it's the week of state. No one's trading stuff now. This was like months ago. We needed this.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, maybe he needs I am good with gear. We will trade gear for sweet tickets. I got sweatshirts, t-shirts, bags. Actually, only one bag, but talked about that yet.
For the whole suite, we'll get you a bag.
Yes, yes. So
All right.
anyway,
Back.
106 pounds. I am going to nail this name. Carson Kahale Como. Kahale Como. He is Hawaiian. You know, the token they were recruiting out of Hawaii. Cody LeCount and crew. You know, that Hawaii to Muncie.
But didn't his dad wrestle like Daleville or something, right? There was like twins.
There were? Oh.
Like I want to say like class of like 2003 or 2004. Someone in the chat, I'm sure, I said, and I probably didn't get. They might not have been Daleville either, but I thought his dad was from Indiana also.
There's a Kelly Kahale Como. Oh, yeah, there is. So, there's one.
Man, bro, we're gonna be in the region section, man.
Oh, geez. That's not a. So we got for Muncie Central, Kelly, 2-time state qualifier, 2000 and 2002.
I thought there was brothers that were there. So
yeah, well, that's just the first one. Past wrestlers. Let's see. Como. I only have one, but there could be more. So, there it is. Lumana and Kahali. Yeah. I have a Kelly, Kelii. So, anyway. Well,
all right.
You're right. So back to the. So I did pronounce it correct. Kahale Como. So he had a great Fort Wayne semi-state. Pinned Joey Warner in the finals. I did not expect Joey to get pinned in the first period with a simple half, and he just ran that over. Looked real good. So his reward is wrestling Cameron Schofield, who beat him in overtime in late November. So that's going to be a real good Friday night. Obviously, as you said last night, the 4 is ranked higher than the 1. That's going to be interesting. And then you got number 4, Julian DeLuna, Hanover Central versus number 3, Lucas Scott. So all top 8 guys in that quarter bracket.
Yeah, not bad. 16 out of 16 at 106 pounds, though.
Yes, sir.
And I don't think any of them were north of 25, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. So, yeah. And we lost a couple guys along the way. So, yeah, I'll start that bottom part. I mean, Lucas got good rebound from the week before. I thought, like he took his first loss at the regional in the semis, I think, to Culp, correct?
Yeah.
And then, bounced back to semi-state runner-up, obviously, the Connor Maddox, who we're going to talk about in the bottom part of the bracket. But having a really good sophomore year. I know he was in the mix last year. But DeLuna's been wrestling well, too. Took a loss to Vince McCoy in the semis there. I think it's pretty lopsided, too. He had been wrestling really well, and I know we'll talk about it down there. But that'd be a good one. I mean, 36-2, 39-2. DeLuna's other losses to Louis, who's no longer in the bracket at the Al Smith. So that'd be a really good one right off the bat. And I know Hanover Central, like the entire year, had been thinking that DeLuna could make a run to the semis. He's the second highest rated guy in that quarter bracket. But on the top part, Cameron Schofield's had a really good season. Had a bad semi-state, though. Losses there. His only other loss before that was Joe Hamilton. He's had a really good year. He's had a good summer. He's been around for in the mix for a long time on SWA. And Kali, how do you say it? How are we saying this?
Kahale Como.
Kahale Como. I like that, man. That's good. We gotta get
now it rolls off my tongue. Rolls off my tongue now.
We need to get the announcer and make sure he knows.
Yeah.
Really tough freshman. Delta's done a really good job of getting all those matches in, right? Like they've done a great job of getting. Did he lose to DeLuna also?
I think his 2 losses are just out of state, if I'm not mistaken.
DeLuna got him too, 5-4.
Or
Team state.
DeLuna did get him
Yep.
Okay, so they're all 2 of them were. He lost to Louis. I'm bringing it up here. I should have
Louis, right. DeLuna, Schofield, and the Tennessee kid, right?
Yeah. Where is he at? I'll put him. Yeah, he lost to Schofield, Weiler, Kennison, and DeLuna.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good. I mean,
And
that's
all
one.
this match. I mean, those are all 4-1 to Schofield overtime, 4-0 to Weiler, 4-1 to Louis. I mean,
Yeah,
and 5-4 to DeLuna. So he's a takedown away basically from being undefeated right now.
and obviously it's about peaking at the right time. We talked about him going out and pinning Warner in the finals of Fort Wayne, and and Coach Tanta have Schofield ready, right? Like
Yeah.
or Morgan or the professor or whoever works with their little guys. But
There's a guy that we know.
a little a
A
little
Cotty guy.
bit. Oh yeah, Cotty too. Cotty's there. So
Yeah.
a little bit of Perry love there. A little bit of family love, right? You're gonna have Cotty in the corner. You're gonna have Cody in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah.
We got a couple underlying stories
Wait.
there. So we could have Cody LeCount and Cotty.
Step
Stepbrother.
brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. They had bunk beds, I heard, and for more activities in their room.
So that has like a little bit, and I mean, obviously that's a really good top part. We got 11 losses between 4 wrestlers.
Who do you think's the drummer between the Cody and Jacob?
Oh, Jacob drums, right?
Yeah.
Like Jacob for sure. Cody's probably the songbird, right?
Yeah. Kind of a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
Yep. So yeah, definitely some stories up there. I don't know if Scott and DeLuna have wrestled anywhere. They did not hit at Trikoff. They're both there. They did not wrestle though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So next quarter bracket, Joe Hamilton, Center Grove had avenged a couple losses.
Correction. Big Joe Hamilton.
Big Joe Hamilton.
Per Swain.
Yes, that's what they call him, Big Joe. So he has great semi-state, avenges loss.
Couple losses, right?
Yep, to Huddleston. He has number 23, Ari Schrock of Mechaniqua. Number 12, Mason Baylor Milan versus number 16, Gavin Longoria Lowell. So while you have 4 top 8 guys there, no one in the top 10, or you got one top 10, 10 and then above there. Schrock and Warner was a great semifinal match. Schrock was winning the whole time, and Joey put him to his back. He got a takedown and put him to his back with less than 3 seconds to go, and got the win. Crazy match. Just kind of found a way to get the win. I was pretty impressed with Schrock there. I thought Joey would kind of cruise comfortably, but he had a good match. So that could be a sneaky good match for another sneaky good match on Friday.
Yeah, there's a couple of seniors in the field. We'll start at the bottom part there. Mason Baylor, really good freshman coming in. Obviously, took his first loss to the semi-state. Had a tough middle school state finals last year. I think he was slammed and had an injury to fall out of the tournament. Gavin Longoria had a really good semi-state on Saturday. Ran his way to the finals for Lowell. 30-11. His losses are like a who's who of not only Indiana, like top 10 guys, but he also lost to the Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee kid who's pretty good, who was nationally ranked at the time. So who is Gavin Longoria's losses? So obviously he lost to Vince McCoy, reversed the loss to him. He's lost to DeLuna 3 or 4 times. He's lost to Louis.
Yeah, he's Scott, Chittum, Kahali Como, Bayless, Louis, Schofield, DeLuna, Vince McCoy.
It's pretty good, man. So you see that 30-11. We talked about 11 total losses up top. He's wrestled everyone, and he's big for the weight. I wouldn't say he's like the most like jacked 6-pounder, but he's tall. He was a semi-state qualifier last year at 20, so that could be a really interesting one Friday night. Shout out to Caleb. I know he's been a big Ari Schrock fan the entire year. Had him in the rankings, his semi-state rankings early on, all the way through. And Joe Hamilton, just that Center Grove magic, man. They peak at the right time. Coach Swain does a great job. Like I said, like if you're watching those YouTube ones, you can see like just keep going, and he got Huddleston at the right spot and got himself in a good quarter bracket there with that win.
Yep. So bottom half bracket, Connor Maddox, undefeated sophomore, turning state 4th place finisher. He has Rashad Nelson, Maryville, Nick Russell, Bloomington South versus returning 8th place finisher Joey Warner. So Warner could possibly run into Maddox again in the quarterfinals. that didn't go well for him last year. I don't think and none of the 106 pounders and even a couple of the 113 pounders
Yeah.
that Maddox has ran into this year, it did not go in their favor. So,
No.
should be
Uh,
one.
when you run out that 30-0 and you've wrestled the Carnahan and you wrestled the Iron Man and you still haven't got a loss, you're doing pretty good.
And you bumped up and beat the number 1 and 2 at 113 in the first tournament of the year.
Dude, 1, 2, and like 4. I mean, like I think Chef had like dropped down, but like he was in the same tournament, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Connor Maddox, phenomenal. Like he's had a great year. I think he was really good last year, and then he's improved even on that. Rashad Nelson, I mean, tough draw, man. You like we said last night, if you take fourth, there's a shot that you're gonna like you're getting somebody that's really tough. If you're a 4, you're getting a semi-state champion. Of the semi-state champions, I would assume that's probably not the one that you wanted. He's the best. He's by ranking and returning medal, he's the best one. But Maryville have him fired up, ready to go. But like that, sometimes you got to take care of business in that 3rd and 4th place match. Yeah, Joey Warner's really good. I think he's really good in the top position. You see him turning people. You talked about him turning Ari Schrock in that match. I think one of his losses was up at 1 or 2 of his losses up at 13.
One was to Heisler, and then he lost to Schofield, and then he lost this past weekend.
And Nick Russell's a tough sophomore for Bloomington South. We saw him at Al Smith. He had a tough route there. He had a really good win at the regional over the Floyd Central kid that put him in a good spot to qualify. So that, Bloomington South had a really tough semi-state. And I'm not saying like tough, like they didn't wrestle well. They just ran into some really hard draws. So I'm sure they're going to be trying to gain as many medals as they can.
He's their only qualifier, and they left a few guys at home that definitely would qualify out of the other 3 semi-states, and not as a 4, as a 2 or a 3.
I thought you were going to go hard. I thought you were going to bury us, bro. I was really nervous there. That'd be a good Friday night matchup.
Yeah. So bottom quarter bracket: Connor Cleveland, East Noble freshman, having a great year. One of 4 Knights representing Holston, Brownsburg. Back up last year. I know he's a little small for the weight and having a great year. He's coming on strong at the end. Obviously, probably didn't want to. He lost to Big Joe last week, but he'll be back. Vince McCoy, coming on strong. Bill Flatt's got him rolling. 1 semi-state. He'll have Nolan Culp. You got two of the 4s are ranked higher than the 1s in this bracket, which tells you how even and how deep this weight is.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Vargo. Let me start on the top part. Connor Cleveland, a really tough freshman. We talked about it. The semi-state show. I heard Mike Gable hit the semi-state. But really tough freshman. We saw him at ISWA last year. Had a really good summer. He's having a really good season for East Noble. Huddleston is one of those guys that had been undersized. I think, obviously he's in the weight now, but, Triple Crown winner a bunch of times growing up. I don't know if those guys have any kind of history of wrestling each other, but he's really tough. And I'm not just talking like Indiana tough growing up in some of those lower weights. Like he was national level, tough growing up. So it's good to see him in the lineup. Like, I would assume that if his ambition is to wrestle in college, he's going to probably be a lifetime 25.
Yeah.
He'd probably be hoping that they would go back to what it used to be like 19. What was it?
118.
Try to go back to 118s. But that'll be a good match. And then Nolan Copes had a really good season for Hamilton Southeastern, 27-6. I know he was at the Curry Clash early on too. Vince McCoy had a day, man. And shout out to Chris Vargo. When I did the Deepwater podcast, I was talking, like people always say, like, hey, you're sleeping on this guy. He's like, oh, you're sleeping on Vince McCoy. And I broke it down. Like Vince McCoy had lost to Gavin Longoria at Al Smith. Dang, dude. TJ McMurray going to take over these rankings. Had taken a loss to Gavin Longoria, so it was hard to jump him because they had wrestled again. And Gavin Longoria, you're not going to punish him for wrestling a tough schedule. It's not like he lost anyone that wasn't ranked ahead of him. So Vince McCoy just took care of business, man. B Flat had him going. I thought Vince McCoy had a really good shot last year to qualify, and then this year he won the semi-state.
Yeah. TJ's been a little salty since he didn't get on the 219 episode. He was pointing people to USA bracketing instead of IndianaMat on our comments.
I seen that.
Yeah,
Man. Man, didn't they man, they invented this thing. Man, when I seen that guy post that, a search engine, right? If you just throw it in there, it'll come right up.
Yeah, yes. This man, Google thing.
You don't have to go in there and just like be angry.
Yeah. So like, we do have a website. If you guys do not know that, I guess 17 years. Even if someone that follows, he follows wrestling in Indiana pretty well, and didn't realize that there was actually a website and we were just a Facebook page. So, yeah.
More than
I don't want to say anything bad about certain educational systems, but because they were in the Fort Wayne semi-state, and I like their coach.
Yeah, so. He's generally a good dude. I mean, but like I saw that, I was like, come on, man, quick search, man.
Yeah, you're right. The better brackets are on IndianaMat, TJ. If you want, give me your rankings, and I'll put them on the brackets too.
Don't do that.
I'm sure, he'll give me his rankings after state. Folks get lost in the mail. There's a website for the website. That's called Facebook. So 113. Trayvon Ducking, number 1 in the state, returning state champion. Man, he took some losses early last year, and after that, he's state series and stuff. Kind of especially with who he sees with Bridge, or not Bridge wasn't in his weight. With Daniel Brown and some other guys that are in those weight classes, I kind of expected at least one time for him to kind of stumble against that level of competition, and he really hasn't since about midway through last year. And so that's pretty impressive, especially with the guys he's wrestling week in, week out. So he has number 18, Maximus Kleberg from Prairie Heights, good freshman. Glad to see Prairie Heights representing with a tough freshman. Brody Blevins, Mishawaka, senior, 22-3, and Caleb Morrow, Ron Colley via Indianapolis Lutheran, looking for his first medal. A real good quarter bracket. Obviously, if you see this is about as good as a seeding you can get right here.
Man, why'd they do you guys like that? The Fort Wayne semi-state. You go back-to-back with Evansville?
I mean, Falcons doesn't like us, I guess.
That's what I heard. He actually told me that on Saturday. It was crazy.
Oh, he only spent like 2 weight classes in Fort Wayne and hightailed it over there to see you.
Dude, and I left. I said, I'm out of here. That guy's coming here. I'm not getting yelled at.
Yeah, you got my message, and you're like,
I said the last time that guy was in the same gym as me, some things went down, and I'm not seeing it twice. Yeah, starting the bottom quarter bracket there. Caleb Morrow is having a really good career, 2-time state qualifier. I think that's a really good get for Ron Colley. Kind of, fitting that lineup really well. He's had a great season. I know he had a big day for them at Team State. Brody Blevins, a senior, 22-3. He's a big 113. I know, talking to the guys that had wrestled him this year, he's strong. He holds position well. He's kind of been in and out of the rankings. I know. I think he could have been 6th last year, I believe. Freeze beat him. I know one of his losses is to Freeze at Al Smith, and like two to Cruz, possibly.
I'll figure that out in just a second.
I think Nick Freeze and 2 to Cruz. Top part of that quarter bracket, Max Kleberg, 38-6, freshman, Prairie Heights. Max did not place at the Al Smith, correct?
Correct. He lost the blood round.
He had a really, but that was 13 was a really tough weight there. I know he had some wars. The future is bright for the Prairie Heights Panthers there.
Yeah, he lost to Gene and Cruz.
Kleberg or
that's those are not bad losses.
No. Trayvon Ducking, and you hit it on the head, man. I wasn't always Trayvon wasn't ranked number 1 last year. I think Daniel Brown used to kind of get the better of him growing up. And it was like a weird, Daniel Brown would lose to Case Bridge, and then Bridge would beat Ducking would beat Bridge, or Bridge would, and then Brown would beat Ducking. It was just a weird triangle. And he's really turned it on. He looked really good at Team State. He's tough. Obviously, he was in the semis last year at Ironman. he's incredibly tough. I think that's going to be a really good spot for him. Obviously, he's the highest ranked wrestler in that quarter bracket.
Yeah.
And his dad wears a T-shirt with his face on it. It is him wrestling on it. So if you see his dad wearing
at IPO on the big mat, on the IndianaMat mat. I was actually saying IndianaMat. Next quarter bracket, K. Jackson Delta Senior, returning 5th place finisher. Number 11. He has number 4. Another 4 that's ranked higher than the 1 is Kellen Sheff of Plainfield, sophomore regional qualifier. Where's I throw that in? But he's pretty good for 2025 regional qualifier. Probably the best regional qualifier, I'd say.
Of last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I don't know. Do you count the guys that like withdrew after the regional?
No.
Okay.
No. So next quarter or next match, Cruz Oweda from Lake Central, returning 6th place finisher Blake Doss, new pal. So real good. You got senior, sophomore, junior, sophomore. So guys with some experience, and this should be a pretty good quarter bracket. Obviously, like I say, Jackson did not beat Oweda in the at state last year because he was at 113 also. So should be a good quarter bracket.
And also, again, 13 or 16 for 16.
Yes.
So, started that bottom part. Blake Doss had a really good career so far. I was happy to see him qualify. I know he's had some really – he's basically wrestled a who's who the last 2 years. A guy that's, everybody. He's a guy we kind of pivot off of also. I know he's taken some tough losses. He's had some really good wins. Cruz Oweda, sophomore returning state medalist. I'm positive he's happy, one, that he's on the opposite side of the bracket of Sam Westfall, and like that Sam Westfall's graduating. We've talked about this before. He might be getting Sam Westfall a graduation gift. For some reason, in those 50-50 matchups when they're close, like Cruz has had a lot of success against everyone else, and Sammy's probably had his number.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll be, more than thankful that he's graduating. So he'll probably have a Wabash shirt and say "Go Little Giants."
Yeah.
Top part of that, Kellen Sheff, K. Jackson. So kind of an underlying thing. We didn't get a lot in the brackets, but Nick Freeze had a really good year for New Prairie. Nick Freeze has multiple wins over a lot of guys in the bracket here, and sometimes you just grab those. That's just the draw. He had Cruz Oweda in the ticket round, and Cruz beat him. But he beat Cade Jackson at Team State, which is why Cade's lower. I think Nick was 10, and then Cade was 11, and Kellen Sheff's had a really good season. But with that being said, Cade Jackson did beat Kellen Sheff this year 4-1. So
yeah.
So a lot of good matches there. But it was kind of, if it's seeded out, I think that's a good way to split it,
Yeah. So bottom half bracket, the aforementioned Sam Westfall, returning 7th place finisher, Crown Point. He has number 30. Andrew Elmore, Zionsville, 23-4. And then Spencer McCammon from Evansville, Mater Day, freshman, having a great year. He has Jackson Webb. So 2 seniors in this quarter bracket. Should be interesting. Webb, but senior punches ticket for Yorktown.
Yeah, bottom part. Jackson Webb, another guy that's really been in the rankings for the last couple of years. Probably multiple time ticket rounder out there. His first time making it to state.
Yeah, he's been in the mix. Just never been able to punch through.
Spencer McCammon. Shout out to the McCammon family. I know his sister's had a really successful season. I know you're getting ready to do an article on that, right? Or that already come out?
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be in the media guide. Some of the brothers and sisters, figured I'd throw sisters in also because that's pretty cool to qualify people for state with the same family. So
and he's a Sullivan kid. I know there was a lot of questions this summer asking like, would he end up at Mater Day? Like, obviously, a huge Mauer Coughlin kid. His dad is probably one of the I don't know like the whole conversation, but he's in the conversation of best guys not to go to state, including me and Joe, obviously. But he had a lot more national credentials than I ever had or you ever had
Yes,
combined.
yes.
He was really tough, and I would assume that he's probably up there in all-time wins for Sullivan. But Spencer punches his ticket the first try, so I think he's like a Pan Am's champ.
He's got
He's
a lot of
really
national style success in the international styles, and obviously we knew he'd be pretty good punching his ticket there, and he didn't have an easy path to get to state
no,
either. None of those modern day kids. I don't know what they did down there to get the bracket gods off their side. Maybe they don't like the new pope. Maybe what I don't know
man,
what's going on there.
South Side, man, South Side.
Maybe
Um,
they're probably more like, yes, they're more like probably Cardinals fans. But they're not rivals of. I mean, who in that area would be a rival for the White Sox?
down there, none.
Yeah,
I mean, we did beat the Houston Astros for a World Series championship one time. So, uh, so top part of that, Andrew Elmore, real talented junior, another upperclassman, 23-4. He came into the tournament 23-2. Sam Westfall took some losses early on, and just kept grinding. He's a worker, man. His uncle kind of runs our softball organization. They're a great family, the Scott family. So I'm a fan of Sam Westfall. Just hearing it from outside, like obviously the wrestling community, you hear it from the family. And Rob doesn't go to a lot of stuff, and like he'll ask things, or say things like, that, this or that, and which is really cool. And I'm really happy for him. He's a kid that was in the mix at Crown Point, like kept grinding, got in the lineup last year, was a medalist, and is just keep improving. And he works incredibly hard. So if I had a bet, I know he's going to Wabash. I would be betting he's going to be working with Steel at some point. They own a steel company. I think a lot of the family works there. I bet he's going to be in that mix too. So shout out to Sam Westfall for holding it down.
So last quarter bracket, this is another good one. Number 14, Drew Heisler versus number 2, Daniel Brown Jr. Number 3, Tate St. Laurent of Cathedral has a lot better draw this year. He has Tyler Quarles from Lowell. So Laurent won semi-state, puts himself in a little bit better situation than he did last year, but still going to be a tough quarterfinal match.
Yeah, that was the Friday night match last year. Daniel Brown and St. Laurent, right?
Yeah. So eventually they're gonna. So this year it's gonna be quarters. Next year it's gonna be semis. Then their senior year will be the finals
under the lights. So yeah, the top part of that, Drew Heisler, a real talented sophomore, had some really good wins this year. His dad, you told me his dad's a doctor, so if you need a doctor, reach out. If they say there's a doctor in the house, we know there'd be at least one.
I'm just
Daniel Brown,
love.
Dude, we really like Daniel Brown Jr. Really good kid. Obviously, we talked to him the Triple B story last week with Little B.
Yeah,
dude, he's a lot of fun, man, and he's not afraid to give his opinions. And
might be wearing a Teletubby costume to wrestle this weekend. That's what I heard that he's doing.
Dude, we might we might get him on the payroll at some point. So that's a tough draw for Heisler. I mean, like I said, back-to-back weights. Fort Wayne draws Evansville, which is right now the premier semi-state, and that's a tough one. St. Laurent and Quarles. Tyler Quarles had a really good semi-state at East Chicago. Beat Isabel Kaplan 1-0. Me personally, I was actually watching the match with some people up there before I got removed by security from that area. Going to the third period, I was really surprised they chose down. Like, especially now with the 3-point takedown. Like, even if you get an escape, you're still going to need a takedown, right? And you can still give up an escape if you needed to. Tyler Quarles is really good with the legs. We got to see him a lot doing Heartland Sports Network wrestling Carter Gary. Someone's teaching legs again at Lowell, and that's a good thing for the community because there's a guy that's going to be in our singlet picks that was pretty good with the legs too. That's a tough Friday night. Taylor St. Laurent, I thought should have been a medalist last year. No disrespect to any other semi-state. I was disappointed that Newcastle and Evansville hit Friday night because I thought those were two of the stronger semi-states at 6.
Yeah.
And I think that's the blind draw of it. I know people always say like they should let us seed it out, and partly like but I think more for stuff like that. Like if there's two incredibly hard semi-states, like they shouldn't be hitting each other. And like if one semi-state's a little bit down, and I know like someone's gonna be, that's the draw, it's how it works. It happened to us before too. Okay, cool. Did you like it when it happened to you?
Yeah.
But man, I heard someone told me today that we were so popular still about our seedings from the Al Smith this weekend at the East Chicago semi-state. So
Makes my heart.
yeah. The St. Laurent Daniel Brown match should be pretty good if they get to that point. Like obviously don't sleep on anybody, but those have been good matches because I think that was a good match at Team State last year also.
Yeah. And then they wrestled at Al Smith in the semis this year. Or no, St. Laurent had was on the other side. He had Maddox. Never mind. Just as we say, the seeds.
Not Maddox, right?
Yeah, or not Maddox. Was St. Laurent on the set? Who did they wrestle? I'm getting all.
Yeah, he won 4-1. I don't know who would have beat him there.
He won 4-1. Daniel Brown.
Those are good matches.
Yep.
He's really good, man. I think like people. I think he's tend to be overlooked in that that group of that like last year's group of sixes. I think people tend to overlook how good St. Laurent is.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, it's kind of crazy that those guys, there was the hierarchy was a little bit more of everyone beating everyone. Now they got a little bit of a hierarchy now, which is very interesting. And it's getting a little more consistent, which I didn't expect that to happen. So, but you never know. Sophomore years is, the offseason sophomore years is when I see a lot of kids make jumps, and someone might flip the script, as they said on a video that I just saw today. So 120, first top quarter brackets, some conference rivals hitting up first round. Case Bell versus Aiden Driscoll, little Hoosier Crossroads Conference rivalry. Then you got Braylon McIntyre versus Jackson Robbins. Another that is the TRC. Do you know what the TRC stands for? Let's see if how you know your Northern Indiana conferences.
TRC, the Twin Rivers Conference.
Ooh, close. Three Rivers Conference.
Oh, Three Rivers.
Real close. I did not expect that. Yeah. So McIntyre won that match last time. I believe Bell beat Driscoll if they wrestled. But obviously those guys are the favorites. But a lot more on the line here. That's going to be some. I think the McIntyre Robbins match could be a little bit closer. I think they wrestled twice this year, so should be interesting. McIntyre taking his first loss Saturday.
Yeah, we'll start that bottom part. McIntyre had a really tough draw in the semi-state last year. I think he took his first loss in the ticket round last year to Levi Johns, correct?
Yes.
And this year, punching his ticket his senior year, he's had a really good career. Obviously, over the last 2 years, up until this point, probably 80 plus and 2. Jackson Robbins, we've kind of talked about that last week at the semi-state show. So if you didn't tune into East Chicago, he was a transfer that had sat out last year. My nephew wrestled him up at Sparty Duels, and he had some like high school results. It was like, that's weird. Like, and we kind of reached out, and they said that he was at Rochester. He's a strong 20. He had a good day. He beat Xavier Cunha, and then had a really good match in the finals with Alvarez. So wrestling well at the right time, and dude, like those guys had. I know they always say it's country strong and farm boy strong, but I don't know if he's on a farm. But those dudes at Rochester, they're pretty strong. Yeah. But obviously, Case Bell's phenomenal. Shout out to Aiden Driscoll. I don't believe he was on the watch list for us either. For me, not ranked, sophomore, so he'll definitely be in the rankings next year as long as he doesn't do anything crazy this summer, and fall way down. But 32-14, punching his ticket. I mean, that's a tough one. Again, he's probably seen him a couple times in the same conference. If he hasn't seen him, he's at least been in the same building when they've wrestled at the same time. Case Bell's probably the guy you don't want to draw there.
Yeah. I believe that's still the TR. Hold on a second. Yeah, they're still in it right now. I think they might be. There's a lot of conference shuffling going on these days. So next quarter bracket, Jeremy Aiden Poophead Carver. That's what his dad says his other nickname is that he calls him. He probably uses more colorful language. Indianapolis Cathedral got a second win over Peyton Shutley, and kind of the old playing pig. You got to prove it. He did. He has Justice Thrasher from Center Grove. It's one Center Grove did not want to wrestle. They've been wrestling real well. Returning state qualifier Jacob Powers, Crown Point, Cameron Center, Wawa C. Another one where it's a rematch, and Center beat Powers at the Al Smith. So, and all four of these guys were at the Al Smith where Carver won that weight class.
Yeah, I think. It speaks to what they're doing at Mishawaka, like with the depth of that tournament. I know they're always looking to improve. So if you have a strong incoming class of wrestlers, and you think that you want to, be part of that group, and every time we reference someone it's not because the only time we ever see him is at Al Smith, but there a lot of these guys have been at Al Smith. Yeah, we'll start at the bottom part. Center, a qualifier 2 years ago out of Chicago, finally punched his ticket, broke his way through the mean streets of Fort Wayne semi-state. He's tough, man. He's big. He's strong for a senior at 120. Powers is like, I think right after Al Smith, I felt like Powers kind of turned the corner. Like, I don't know if Team State was the next tournament that Crown Point had, but he had a really good day there where he beat Thrasher and Bridge. Obviously, he dropped one to Bell in the final and team finals, but he looked like he's been coming on. He also had a pretty good match, I believe, with Alvarez. So, he's pretty tough, man. That'd be a good one. And then I know there was some chitter chatter on the social media boards. Carver's had a really good season. Like, if we were seeding it, we'd probably had him on the bottom. Like, when I say probably, yes, we would have had him on the bottom. Like, he's the opposite of Bell. I understand, like, for the show, and that they're probably buddies. But at the end of the day, both of those guys are going there to be the champ. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of them's deferring to say, well, he's my buddy, I'm going to let him win. Both of those guys are going there to be the champ, and even if you were on the bottom, you would have to beat him either way.
Yeah.
So, I don't know the weight cutting situation of any of those guys. I know Carver had wrestled pretty low at IPO and all of that, so maybe he's cutting a little bit less. I mean, obviously, the further the day goes, you're probably going to be a little bit heavier. You don't want to grab a guy that's, back in the day. We're going to look at some back in the day singlets in the singlet picks, where those dudes were probably 2-3 weight classes higher come Saturday night. So looking forward to a very strong semifinal there. But with that said, like, you have two seniors in that quarter bracket. If you look past anybody, especially with the ways points are scored now, it'd be incredibly difficult to come back from that. So Carver's a pinner, man. So I'm excited to see that Carver Bell match, possibly.
Yes.
I'm sure Ryan and our sponsor Contenders get to see that match pretty often.
Yeah. So bottom half bracket, another freshman semi-state champ, Ethan Alvarez Maryville, 41-2. He has Caden Braden. Concord had one of the bigger upsets of the day. Probably one of the bigger first round upsets, taking out defending semi-state champ out of Fort Wayne, Bakari Cooper. If you watch it, it's just kind of a Cooper was trying to fireman's and kind of put his arm in the wrong spot, and Braden took advantage of it. And he was flat. It was not even it was just a brain fart kind of moment, and he took advantage of it. And that's what makes wrestling awesome. And, it was crazy. Alden Walker, Evansville Mater Dei. He has Ron Colley, two storied programs right there with Peyton Shutley, 2024 champ, 2025 runner up. Should be a real good quarter bracket here.
Yes. We'll start on the bottom part. Obviously, Alden Walker's having a really good season. Had a really exciting match with Bell at Team State. Mater Dei did not get a lot of good draws. Mater Dei, and you're coming out of the toughest semi-state, and if you're not like in the finals, it's going to be tough because you're going to be drawing champs and runners up from other semi-states, right?
Yeah.
Peyton Shutley quietly having probably one of the best careers in the class of 26. I think, I don't know, like maybe I don't know if we talk about him enough and give him his roses enough. he's a dog, man. Guy wrestles hard. He's taken the 2 losses to Carver. Um, him and Bell was a really good match at Center Grove. It was a really good match last year under the lights. I also believe he's a Contenders kid. So, I mean, a guy that when he's said and done, we're gonna look back and be like, dude, he was really, really good.
Yeah, going to IU also. So going to be probably good. Spent a good chunk of time at 125 for them. So yeah, he is. I mean, he's pretty good. He's real good, and he'll be a good college wrestler too. So should be a good quarter bracket. Oh, go ahead about Alvarez and
The
Braden.
top part of that, Ethan Alvarez, I think some people thought we had him overrated a little bit early on just because he was a really good freshman. Had a really good Al Smith. He has 2 losses. One is to Jeremy Carver. The other is to Noel Verduzco. Both of those guys really tough. He had a great semi-state, pulled out some tough matches. I think he went down on Jackson. He was behind on Jackson Robbins, ended up coming back and winning. He's a guy that I think is going to be in the mix the next 3 years, 4 years. But Coach Maldonado does a great job with those guys. And I'll let you talk about Caden Braden because you were the one that told me when we were doing the Al Smith. I'm going to let you take your victory lap here. I think I was giving Caden Braden a hard time when we were putting him in the seeds. And you told me that you've seen him and he's had some really good wins. So go ahead and take your victory lap, my friend.
I just said that he had some good wins, and I'm like, he had, he had a good record going in there, and I just saw a couple of those wins. I'm like, I don't think he's. I mean, I think he's pretty solid, And I was, for one of these times, I was right, and then he punches a ticket. So Mike's like, Mike was definitely the first one to say, hey, I mean, you were on the Kane Braden train, pretty early, and congrats to him and Concord getting a punch in the qualifier. Obviously, his buddy Bryson Brosemir was is cheering him on. I know Bryson lost a tough one in the ticket round, but yeah, it's good to see Concord represented, and obviously he could. I think they have a good coaching staff there. Colin Kroom and blanking on that other name, their Mishawaka guy. They're doing a good job, and I think that program is going to be getting better every year. I think they have a good group of guys that are going to be there for the long term and kind of continue to build that program up. And obviously, getting a kid to states showing that they're doing the right things.
Yeah. So shout out to Caden Braden, Junior. I definitely think he'll be seated at the Al Smith next year. No questions asked.
Mike's not gonna give me crap about that one. Bottom quarter bracket: Seth Lamb, Fishers, Junior, number 19 in the state. Case Bridge, Avon, returning third place finisher. How many number 4 ranked guys have 10 losses? Probably one.
Yeah, probably one.
So Reed Wicker, number 7 in the state, returning 5th place finisher. Xavier Acuna, Portage, returning state qualifier. That's gonna be a good quarter bracket. Obviously, I'll let you dive in a little bit deeper.
We'll drop down to that bottom part. Bridge, phenomenal start to his career, like 30-10. You're gonna hit Bell a bunch, and Avon's wrestled everybody. I would be willing to bet in these wins versus the field, he's had a handful of losses to those guys, and they've wrestled some out-of-state guys. Seth Lamb, man, he's quietly having a good career. I know he's an undersized 6 and kind of gone around, jumped up in there, 19 in the state. I know he's taken some tough losses. He's had some really good wins. He's the Spartan Classic champ, also known as Connorsville. So that'll be a good one Friday night. And then on the bottom part of that, Xavier Kuna looked like, I know he had missed some time with injury. I think he defaulted that 3rd and 4th place match. Hopefully, I know he's a dog, man. I know that the Acuna family's tough. They're incredibly tough. If he's able to go, he'll go. But also, I don't know if how healthy he was at the end of the tournament. Like anytime you had to default that 3rd and 4th place match after a couple injury times in the semis, it's never a good thing. Reed Wicker had a really good freshman year. He's having a really good sophomore campaign here. I think 2 of his losses came at the Carnahan, where I believe he was like 1-2. He's really tough, man. I thought he was really tough last year. that's a tough one Friday night. You got two guys that with state experience, three guys in that quarter bracket that's been to state.
Yep. Should be a good weight class. Looking forward to 120, 126. This is one of the weights that I like how like the weights that kind of we're looking forward to, the ones that are kind of really, really going to be crazy. And, where you could see a 15th ranked guy make it to the finals or something, or they're like every like three weight classes. So you get to, catch your breath, some things that should go a little bit more to chalk, and then you get back to the craziness. So this is one of those weight classes. Got number 1 and 2 in the top quarter bracket. Blake Getz, Roncalli, senior, 38-1. His one loss is to Noel Verduzco.
Yeah.
Nolan Mullins from Jasper. I know it's been a little bit since Jasper's been at the state finals. Congrats to them. Dakota Sprunger, coached by the great Caleb Sprunger. It's I can't even think of Thor's name now. Geez, I'm blanking on all names. You got Sawyer Miller in the corner. That's more important. Sawyer's a pretty good coach. That's there. So Sprunger has Noel Verduzco, turning third place finisher. So good quarter bracket right there. And can't really overlook those guys with a higher ranking because they've had pretty good seasons themselves.
Also, we got another 16 of 16 here, folks. So we'll start up at the bottom there. Noel's had some really good matches, and I don't think losing those matches, like obviously, like he's not trying to lose those matches, but like also to that, like those are just really good. He got beat in the same spot twice, like legitimately at the regional. He's winning with like 20 seconds left, shoots his shot, kind of holds on there. Kiros cuts the corner, cradles him up for 7.
Mm-hmm.
He's winning with about 24 seconds left on Saturday, and I'm thinking like, there's no way he's going to do the same thing, right? Shoots a shot, Kiros cuts the corner, gets the cradle, locks it up, gets the takedown. I would, and this is just Mike Reiser talking, I'm only an amateur coach. I'm only giving advice a little bit. If that match happens again, I'd probably not go there 20 seconds left with no stall calls.
Yes.
But I don't think you can overlook a senior from South Adams. Noel was number 1 after beating Getz. Getz had beat Dominic Brown. They're all on the top side early on. So it was really a mix for the number 1 spot between Don Brown and Verduzco at that point. That could be a really good matchup. Nolan Mullins, shout out to Jasper Nolan Mullins. I know he got a good dub over my nephew at IPO. So I think that's what started the snowball. Congratulations. And then, Blake Getz, obviously another guy from Roncalli having a phenomenal career. He's got 2 medals, right in the mix to win a title. It's going to be who shows up on Saturday. Even in this very small quarter bracket, who shows up Saturday is going to be able to make a run.
Yep. That's going to be a Saturday morning match you don't want to miss, 1 and 2, most possibly. So going down, this is another great quarter bracket. All top 9 wrestlers. Number 3, Dom Brown, Center Grove. Number 6, Braden Voles, who's quietly having a really good career. 2-time state placer, going for his 3rd. Colin Strayer, Crown Point, returning 4th place finisher, and Abram Swathwood. One that, even though he doesn't have any state experience, I would not be surprised if he runs in the semifinals there. All these guys are as good as each other. Swathwood beat Strayer at the Al Smith last year, 12-1. Brown beat Voles last year at state. I don't recall the exact score, but so there's some history, but nothing this year. Man, I saw this one. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of wins. And if you take Strayer's losses out of state out of the mix, you have single digit losses between all those guys.
Yeah, and we'll start on that bottom part. Strayer 2 weeks ago had a really good win over Verduzco at the sectional, which kind of put him in this position. That was his first win over Verduzco. Those guys have battled. Like I'm sure if you take his out of state losses plus his Verduzco losses out of his career, he's probably in single digit losses also.
Yes.
but Swarthwood's tough, man. Missed the state tournament last year. I don't remember what round. I thought it was regional, so that's why I
Yeah.
was saying, best regional qualifier. Like Swarthwood's pretty good too. I know he was
Yeah. Yes.
out. He's funky, man. He's strong. Like he lands well. Like Strayer's strong too. Strayer holds position really well. That's a very interesting stylistic contrast for a
Mhm.
Friday night match. Crown Point didn't get a ton of like good draws where you're like, oh man, like they have a lot of history of winning these matches. They had a lot of matches where they were hitting guys where they have a history of losing those matches.
Yeah.
So not to say that Strayer hasn't gotten better or Swarthwood's gotten better, but that could be a really interesting Friday night matchup. Braden Vols taking 4 out at Newcastle. I was actually like kind of shocked by that. A shout out to Brody Weimer for winning that match in the third and fourth place match. But any of the champs would have been incredibly tough.
Yeah.
Any of the champs. 26 is nasty. It was nasty at Newcastle. It was nasty at East Chicago. It was nasty everywhere. That's going to be a tough one. Both of those guys pretty strong.
Mhm.
Also, Don Brown, another guy that we really like. Obviously, we talked about Daniel. Really, really good with his media stuff. I see him on those like YouTube ones. I don't know Braden Vols enough. Maybe he is pretty good on the media side of it too. But I know Dom had some injuries. And came back. But like once he got back, I thought he'd be back at Al Smith, and then he got back at Team State. He looked like he had missed a beat.
Yeah.
IPO champ this year. I don't know if he's committed or if he intends to wrestle in college.
I believe he's looking to wrestle in college. I know that he's taking some visits per some of the sources. Some Derek guy is an inside source.
I think he's a guy that someone's going to get maybe a little bit later in this 26 class that's going to be a good get for any college.
He's had such just a really, I guess, weird career because he was qualified as a freshman, lost in the ticket round to Schaefer, I think.
Yep.
Sophomore year, 5th last year. Just had I can't even recall offhand who he lost to in the semi and the quarters, but he's beaten anyone and everyone in the state over the last 4 years, and so he's as good as everybody. Definitely rooting for him. I mean that quarter bracket has teams, the team race written all over it.
Yeah.
Not an easy match for either of those guys. I mean, it's not out of the question for both Center Grove and Crown Point to lose a guy there. I mean, that's not. I mean, no one's that much drastically better than anybody their opponents. So that one or two of those guys could go down. None of them could go down. That's one that I'm circling and saying, hey, we're going to know a little bit more about the team state race, and this is the second half of Friday night, so we're going to know a little bit more. We're going to start getting, there's going to start being a path, and this is going to be one of those quarter brackets that I'm like, okay, we kind of know a little bit more, and this is leaning somebody's way.
Well, so. I think we talked about 1 and 2 in the top quarter bracket there, right?
Yeah.
That has 3, 6, 9, and 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, so that's gonna be a quarter bracket I would have circled if you're gonna follow the team race. If you're Center Grove, Crown Point, any of those teams that are interested in that, a lot can happen there. I would not count any one of those guys out to be in the semifinals or even under the lights. If one of those guys makes it under the lights, I'm like not surprised.
Yep, so, I agree.
Bottom half bracket: Rex Moore, North Miami, 40-0. Luke Need from Lake Central. Number 14, Eli Ogle, returning 7th place finisher against number 13, 7th place finisher 2024, Jet McGuire. Moore looked real good, returning first year at North Miami, 2-time qualifier, placed 8th last year. Really took it to Swarthwood. I have watched Swarthwood wrestle a lot. You don't see him get out scrambled and kind of almost a little bit outfunked a little bit. I did not expect to see that. I mean, I've seen Swarthwood get beat, but not like that. Not in kind of at his own game. That was a very surprising match. Not just that he really got beat, but more how he got beat. So Moore's looking real good and put himself in a real good spot. I mean, we saw the top two quarter brackets. I'd much rather be right here.
Yeah.
Not that any of these are easy matches, but I'd much rather be there.
Um, yeah, all of that. Obviously Rex Moore beat number 7 Abram Southwood. Maybe sleeping on him a little bit at number 10. Undefeated senior, 210 qualifier, returning state medalist. We'll start at that bottom with the battle of sevenths. Eli Ogle. I thought that was a strong move for him to move down from 32 to 26. Obviously, he's able to punch his ticket. Did off. No, Mullen's not from Mooresville. Obviously he started his career at Brownsburg. And dude, shout out to the Brownsburg school and shout out to Brownsburg staff that they didn't block any of these guys leaving that like wanted opportunities to be in the lineup because obviously if he stays at Brownsburg, and I don't know where his fit would be at, if he would be able to get in the lineup, but that they were able to let, some of these guys just go and not, hold their eligibility, none of that. Shout out to Derek and his staff and shout out to the AD at Brownsburg. You guys are the good ones, man. Jet McGuire, also a transplant. He was not at Warren Central before via Greenfield Central, so he likes to be in the central part of those areas. Had a really tough match in the ticket round with a really talented freshman, Dallas Rosenbarger. Gave him his first loss of the season. And I thought Jet really controlled that match. We seen him take a crazy loss where Swain turned and yelled at us at Al Smith that he told us. He didn't tell me. I think he told you. That's who he was talking to. It wasn't me.
He didn't tell me anything until then. Until before, right at weigh-ins. So, little I know, bud.
So that'd be a good one. It's an interesting stylistic matchup. Obviously, 2 seniors there, 3 seniors in the bracket. Luke Need punched his ticket for LC, so the 2 of the Indians are back there. He's been in the mix. RWA guy growing up. But, man, that's a tough one, Rex Moore. But I guess of the champs, you couldn't draw Max. You're not getting Getz, and you're not getting Don Brown. If you had to pick one champ, maybe that's the one you want, but doesn't make it easy.
Yeah, when you're the lowest, it's the lowest rank at 10 and undefeated and a returning medalist and making this 4 trip to state. That's called picking your poison either way. So, yeah, it should be a good quarter bracket, and a lot can happen there. Last quarter bracket, Brody Weimer, Noblesville, punched his ticket for his father. He kind of was a little bit up and down early, and we've seen that with some freshmen. I know I had conversations with a father earlier this year when things weren't going, how everyone thought they were going to go, and then end up figuring things out. He has a tough Wyatt Ulrey from Mater Dei who had a pretty big win in the ticket round. Maximus Kiros Chesterton, great move going down to 126. And then Quanell Gabriel Lakeland. I heard we might see something. I know we saw the baby blue jumpsuits last year. The rumor is there's going to be something else special. So I am cheering for Lakeland to punch tickets every year if Kevin Watkins is going to look like, well, what he does.
we got the baby blue going tonight. We'll start at the top part of that. Brody Weimer, dude, and shout out to Mike, man. Mike's really done a great job with Noblesville. When he went over there with the kids club and everything, I think he's done a phenomenal job of making wrestling fun. He's a guy that literally when you watch any of their stuff on social media, you see their post, that dude makes wrestling fun, and it should be fun, especially at the younger ages.
Yes.
Brody's done a phenomenal job coming up through the youth brackets. I know right around Christmas, I think he fell out of the rankings. I forgot who he had taken a loss to. And Mike had sent me a text, not complaining, said he needed that wake-up call, that loss, but not seeing his name in there, kind of he's like, I like it, man. So, and then he was back pretty quick because I think he turned around and got a really good win after that.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's a really tough Friday night matchup with Wyatt Ulrey coming over from Boone, Vegas. Dude, he had that match with Hockaday in the ticket round. The match with Hockaday at Team State, phenomenal. That was a really good match. Pivot a couple weeks later, and the match is going again really good. And then Hockaday went to go scramble, and Ulrey kind of just caught him in the middle, and Abel got the fall. I think he ended up getting a fall there. So you see a fall, you might think dominant, but I believe at that point it might have been 5-5.
Yeah.
Really, really good match there. That'd be a good Friday night matchup, and probably one of the more better spots for Modern Day to be in of all their draws, but still not an easy one. Brody got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Dude, he's in there with house money, right? Like he's coming in, freshman. He got 3 more years. Bottom part of that, shout out to Lakeland Lakers, right?
Yep.
Gabriel, punched his ticket, also ranked. Max Kiro's a dog, man. That's region. You guys want to see a guy that represents the region, and maybe Gabriel gets him. I think they might have wrestled freshman sophomore last year at 125 or 126. They said the weight wasn't a big issue. That like he was kind of coming out of practice light, and basically they're not big on cutting weight in the family. And I think he like left practice one day at like 28, and they're like, "We gotta make 26 one time. We're good." Like if you're walking around at 28, you don't need to be wrestling 32. Had 2 losses to Gavin Lewis up at 32. Dude, his matches with Kiros the last couple of weeks, or not Kiros, but Kiros' matches with Verduzco the last couple of weeks. Selfishly, I want the whole state to be able to see it under the lights. I like everyone in the bracket. We got a lot of friends here, but like for the show, they've been incredibly good matches. And if they don't happen, if you missed that and one of these guys lose, they don't hit each other, go by the replay because those matches are really good.
Yeah. Kiros beat Gabriel at the Goshen duels, right around Thanksgiving. So
nice.
So yeah. So should be a good quarterback or a good bracket overall. This is one of my favorite ones.
And he's a nice kid, man.
Yep.
Shout out to my boy Troy Hahn, had that in the finals. Did a really good job officiating that match. I don't say that a lot.
Yes. Write that down, Chuck. He said good things about officials.
I told Chuck he looked good yesterday. He got his personal stylist. J.C. Penney.
No, he's high class. He goes Kohl's.
I know.
Kohl's cash.
He looks sharp, man. Mrs. Chuck Barnett said that he was mismatching, but I don't think so, man. He looked good. Now the shoes didn't match. We can get to that later. He'll be in a suit, but we'll figure it out.
So 132, another great weight class. Lane Horn, 4-time qualifier now, was 7th last year. He has Owen Blessinger from Southridge, 3 versus 30. Matthew Baylor making a return trip to state after placing 8th as a freshman. Seems like ages ago. He has Sean Harris, who was a qualifier last year. That's 3 losses between them, 9 losses in that quarter bracket. So that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, when you're getting single-digit losses mixed up in that group, pretty good. We'll start at the bottom. Sean Harris, 41-2, really good semi-state, really good season. He's had a really good career for New Haven. That's a tough one, man. 41-2, 38-1. Matthew Baylor punching his ticket. I think he had a pretty tough ticket round match also. Running it back, trying to bookend. So for the Hickory, I don't even know what was Hickory's team name in
Hickory Trees. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean,
he had Richardson, didn't he, in the ticket round?
Yeah, I believe so. Or would he have Richardson match?
He beat Wills too. So whoever.
Yeah. So he did not have an easy path there.
Yeah.
Again, like a very small school, kind of maybe gets overlooked a little bit. He took his first loss last week I believe in the semis. So up top, I heard Mike Gable talking about it. It's always good to see Southridge there. Owen Blessinger, it's a guy that's been on the watch list. Has been at the semi-state multiple times. Tough Friday night matchup, man. Lane Horn kind of got that monkey off his back last year, get that medal. Ranked number 1 as a freshman, lost to Nate Rio. Really highly rated coming in as a sophomore. Left Fort Wayne, came to Chicago, lost to the Fort Wayne kid. Kind of got reached back and tucked under at Evansville. 7th place medal last year. I think did he like break his hand in one of the matches and wrestled through it? Dude, he's strong. His dad was strong. I wrestled his dad. His dad was really strong. Lane is really strong. He has over 100 pins in his career. Like some guys are like, oh man, I got my 100th win. Lane's got over 100 falls. That's really good. I guess most of the nights you know what you're getting from Lane.
Yeah. Yes.
He looked really good Saturday. I think he's in a good spot there. We possibly, and we'll go down, we could possibly see that Friday night matchup from 4 years ago.
Yep. So going down next quarter bracket, Nate Rio avenges loss from regional. Kind of said I ain't messing around today, and end up getting the semi-state title. He has Hunter Mallory from Lowell, who I just realized he's only a junior. He seems like he's been around forever, been winning the rankings and stuff forever for about 6 or 7 years. Hickson Love Marion took his first loss at semi-state. He'll have Gavin Mason, who took one of his 2 losses at semi-state.
Yep.
That should be a real good 8-9 in the first round. And I mean, you see that. That's about how you're going to seed it. So should be a good quarter.
Yeah. So we'll start at that bottom part. Hickson Love, he was semi-state champ last year, right? For Marion.
Yep.
Giants. Took his first loss there, return state qualifier. Gavin Mason's a really tough freshman. Lost in the semi-state championship match to who won the semi-state out there? Richard Rogers. It was a good match too. He had a really good ticket round match to go. His other loss is the Lane Horn at Tricot or at Team State. They said Lane said, or not Lane. I didn't talk to Lane. Travis said that he moved really well for a freshman, but man, like when you're a 14 or 16-year-old kid, I don't know how old he is. I have no clue. But like when you're a freshman, you grab up a senior that's pretty strong, probably got grown man strength. Sometimes that shocks you. That'd be a good one. Again, 3 losses in that quarter bracket. Hunter Mallory wrestled really tough. His brother had a good run. Andres Moreno, he's on staff there. The last month he's wrestled really well for Lowell. He was a 2-time regional qualifier before that, so his first time the semi-state punched his way through. Dude, Nate Rio's the real deal.
Yeah,
he's really good. Like you already said, avenged the loss. 2-time state runner-up to Reverend Dickman. The first time he wasn't in the bracket with Reverend Dickman, he beats a really tough Gavin Gendris for a title that had beat him earlier that year. He wrestles a fun style. He had a really good Iron Man. Dude, he's phenomenal, man. I'm actually sad he's graduating because I like watching him wrestle, but don't worry, I'm not going to lose any sleep. There's more Rios on the way. So, he's been one of the more exciting hot top level guys to watch, right? Like some of those guys, like, they get in those, pretty tight matches. But at the end of the day, that's a match I'm looking forward to because, there's some really good seniors. Obviously, Horn lost to Boyd, his only loss. Rio and Horn, I think they had traded losses that summer going in. And Rio, I think, he has the last win over Horn.
So bottom half bracket, Jensen Boyd, number 2 in the state, 4th place finisher in 2024. Injury kept him out last year. He's pretty good. He had Jack Richardson from Roncalli. Unranked Lucas Day.
Right.
Number 19, Isaiah Bikema. I find it interesting that 2 of the unranked guys that made it to state were from Crown Point and Brownsburg, who almost, it's a part of the rankings process. If they're in a good room, they're in a good program, they usually get the benefit of the doubt. You said him, and I want to say Abilene.
Yeah.
You said, nah, you guys don't need to be ranked. And usually I would say you defer to some of those guys, give them more of the benefit of the doubt. Those 2 you decide to axe, and you could add 2 more. You could have thrown them in at 29, 28, something like that. But Dave's having a real good year. Came in, I'll let you explain it, but it's he didn't make it easy on you for at all.
Well, sometimes, I'm an idiot, so that happens. I don't claim to be smart all the time. I've made bad decisions. We'll start in that bottom quarter bracket. Yeah, Lucas Day came in under 500, had just lost at the conference, I think, to Nicolite. So that's what kind of knocked him out. And then part of it is you have to look at like kind of where they're at, and you kind of project a little bit. He's wrestled above what I thought he would do. He's really tough. He's came back over. I believe he was at Brownsburg, went to Tri-West, and came back to Brownsburg. Mm-hmm. Was he a regional qualifier last year? He lost first round regional. Chuck Hutchinson, Cascade.
You would know probably more than I would on that.
So
on this list.
He had missed some of the season. I think he had to do the 30-day sit, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know if that's why he was sitting, but that's what I'm assuming. Um, just tough in the lineup, man. They wrestled one of the toughest schedules in the state. I thought he wrestled Gavin Lewis really tough at Team State, which jumped him up pretty high, even with the a couple losses. And then I think tough conference kind of dropped him back down. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that he's wrestling well right now.
Yep. Yeah, that's and that's one that I know it's one of those that I'm like, and I saw that you didn't have him ranked. I'm like, oh, that's interesting because we knew he was pretty solid, and but he's also going through he has a real tough path. He's going to have to wrestle real well, and he's coming in with a losing record. And
well, the deciding factor was that Dustin didn't have him, and I could only pick and choose so many battles where me and Dustin both don't have him in the rankings. Yeah.
So let's throw Dustin under the bus.
Yeah, this one's for Dustin. We're gonna have a tough Isaiah Bikema. Bikema. I think that's how they told me to say. I've written down 100 times. They told me 100 times that Al Smith. Dude, he had to win a really tough match to make it to state. He beat Warren Brown of Maryville, who had beat him at the Al Smith. Both of those guys. Isaiah is a really good football player, also a good athlete. I know he had missed a little bit of time for injury too, but just peaking at the right time. I think when you get and not all these guys are great coaches. I appreciate everyone's time. You get some guys that get you believing in what you're doing, and we always talk about teenagers with confidence is crazy. And Coach Bradbury's done a really good job there. And then you get Hawk, man. Hawk's a guy. He gets in your ear, tells you to do a 2-9 show. Then all of a sudden, you got 30 guests on.
Yeah.
So he's wrestling really well. He wrestled well at Al Smith. He turned up at the semi-state. They said that he wrestled Horn really tough in the finals there. So not only did he get to state by beating a really tough Warren Brown, a guy that went to overtime last year with Mosier Friday night, or was it Rideouts? So you send that guy home with another guy that's really well coached, and get yourself a ticket to the finals. So that should be a good one with Dave there.
Yep. Did you say anything about Boyd?
No, I did not. Jack Richardson, I think he came out as a 4 at the semi-state, right?
Yeah.
He was a 4, punched his way through 4 in the regional, 4 in the semi-state. Jensen Boyd, Jack Richardson, the guy that I think when people send me results, they always say like, oh, and we beat Jack Richardson. And like I said, wrestles a who's who, and he has a lot of good wins also. Jensen Boyd, I was there when he got injured last year, and we talked about the semi-state show. I feel like anytime they ask your parents to come down to the mat, it's never a good thing.
Yeah.
And I believe his sister was coaching him at that time too.
Sister's a pretty good wrestler too.
She's really good. You're talking about a guy that takes every challenge, right?
Yeah.
Went to Carnahan, didn't have to. Went there, took some losses, took an injury the year before. Went to Ironman, went to the semis of the Ironman, unranked or unseeded, and then goes back. Just really, really good year for Jensen Boyd. I'm really happy that he's wrestling. Heaven forbid anyone gets any injuries, but the way he's rebounded and the season he's having, I think the Rio match a little bit closer than the score had it. I thought it was a good match at Ironman. He had a really good Carnahan too. Dude, he beat a kid, a Michigan kid, I believe. Like it was a Michigan champ, and beat him in overtime. It was just a really the video's online. You can watch it. Like it was really good, and just you could hear their coaches, and they were kind of like, even though he had just came off this really good run at Ironman, they're like, "Who is this kid?" Like, and I think the kid might have been like a 2-time or 3-time Michigan champ.
Nice, yeah. So bottom quarter bracket, circle it. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on this match. Number 5, Gavin Lewis, Crown Point, 2-time state placer against 2-time state placer. Number 6, Royce Malone. They are 1-1 this year against each other. They're 2-2 in the past 2 years against each other. This is team state. This is the team title right here. This can make it or break it. It's going to help your cause whoever wins that match. That's going to be a doozy. Those two really tight, close matches, and they're that's no. I mean, they're nail biters, and it's one small mistake. It's gonna get the other guy the victory. And it's not even, sometimes it's kind of out of your control. I got number 10, Richard Rogers. Great senior year, punching his ticket after pricing 2 years ago and getting a number 1. He has Trip Hazley. His buddy Trip Garner did not make the state finals, unfortunately, so we could have 2 trips.
He didn't make the trip?
No.
Okay. That's a Joe joke. I had that one on my sleeve. Here all week, guys. Don't forget to tip the waitresses.
Yes. Yeah. So remember, it's a 2-drink minimum because listen to us, you need lots of drinks. So, yeah, take it away here because this is, I saw that, but my eyes just widened up and I'm like, okay, and we kind of talked Saturday night a little bit about what, we're like, hey, I think Center Grove might be the favorites now, or Center Grove or Crown Point might be the favorites. And then we're kind of starting to look at it and start looking at the brackets. I go, here we go. This is going to be a big match for either team. And obviously Crown Point Brownsburg is going to want a double DQ and both teams lose 3 team points.
Yeah.
In this match. I don't think and coaches get thrown out. So.
Maybe those guys are a little chippy. Well, I'm gonna start. I don't usually start with the champ. I'll start with the champ down here. Trip Hazley, going back to the state finals for Madison Grant. He got a senior and Richard Rogers. I think both those guys have some big moves in them. That could be a fun one Friday night. That could be one that gets a lot of points, or it could be a 2-1. But I think that's one that I would circle. I'm a Richard Rogers fan. I think that he wrestles an exciting style of wrestling. I think if everyone wrestled like that, there'd be a lot of wrestling fans, right? And then, dude, Malone and Lewis, those have been wars. Not super high scoring. I think at the Al Smith, Gavin Lewis he had won his first 2. He beat Malone for a championship in a pretty close match. They run it back at Team State. Malone kind of gets in a shot, sits back, gets Lewis in a team defensive fall, and it kind of just spiraled Crown Point there, and they end up losing, and Center Grove goes to the finals against Brownsburg. Flash forward this year, Gavin Lewis, 2-time Al Smith champ, looking to become one of the only 4-timers, and Malone goes out there and wrestles his butt off and wins, I believe 2-1. But I don't feel like he was ever in any danger in that match. I thought he really controlled the match. Yeah. And then you go back to Team State. They flip it again where Lewis is losing. And I'm like, oh, Malone's gonna defend that spot. And then I think Lewis kind of shoots a shot, gets into like a bear hug, and takes him dead to his back. Yeah. So they've been crazy close wars. I would assume that if it was a hunt, I seen the Malone boys. We talked about. I seen they posted they went out hunting this weekend. They got a bunch of rabbits, bunch of beagles and rabbits. Man, I seen them. They posted it. So the rabbit population in Greenwood, I guess. I don't know where they live. I know they were Monrovia kids. Johnson County somewhere. The rabbit population is down. I don't know if Gavin Lewis is the rabbit hunter. You're right. My brother texted me. I don't know if it was Saturday night or Sunday morning. It's going to be Lewis and Malone. And I'm like, how did you see the bracket? I know there's like a way to backdoor it. He's like, no, I just got a feeling that's going to be the match, and it's going to be one of those things. Dude, Gavin Lewis is a gamer. Malone's a gamer. Both those guys got 2 medals. Both of those guys have been in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. We talk about wrestlebacks. I'm not saying any in 2s and 3s are bad. Like, I'm not, but I would assume like no other 2 or 3 had a semifinal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking before I. Yeah. So, but that's the way it goes, man. You're right. This is a big pivot. Like this is gonna be second session. You're gonna be halfway through. Right in that mix of halfway through the second session. Who's gonna have the better week of work this week? I don't think either of those kids are like back down kids either. Like, I can't see one of them just being like, oh man, I got this guy. Like, they're probably like, yeah, it sucks. But both those guys, I think, believe they're going to win. Like, it's like, if you ask them, it's not like, those are not going to be the kids that's, looking around, waving in the stands, extra, I'm happy to be here. Those are the guys that are like, I'm coming to take care of business. Yeah. And one of them is going to be shocked when they lose because I think they both really believe that they're the best guy in the weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're both as good as anyone in this weight. And unfortunately, we're not gonna get to see one of them wrestle on Saturday, so that's gonna be a good one. Ethan Berry, yes, I have actually been in the double stalling. That actually there was one state final that there was no state champion because it was double stalling, and they both got DQ'd in the state championship match. So I doubt that'll happen in this match. I have been a part of one match that was a double DQ for stalling, and that was absolutely ridiculous. So
Win or lose, I know there's gonna be less rabbits in Johnson County Sunday.
yes, either way, the rabbit population needs to be on high alert.
Yeah.
So okay, 138. We're almost there. We're gonna have two more weight classes.
Yeah.
So Hunter Douglas Homestead returning fifth place finisher, semi-state champ. He has Parker Culp, one of two Culps making the trip to state for Hamilton Southeastern, not related to Blaine Culp. Landon Haynes Brownsburg was a sixth place finisher as a freshman, looking for another medal as a senior. Oh, look, we got another big match.
Yep.
Sonny versus Sonny Sessa, Crown Point. He placed sixth as a sophomore, looking for another medal also. This is his fourth trip to state. Haynes beat him at team state, I believe.
Yeah.
And then I think Douglas had Russell Culp possibly.
Probably early on at the Curry Clash, right?
I am checking right
now. Doesn't
now.
look like it. Haynes, Vargo, Farouk.
He did beat Haynes, and he beat Bowie and Rhodes. So surprisingly, his stuff of their schedule, he has not hit those top guys. So yeah.
We'll start on the top one too, because I think the team race part is a good, kind of focal point. Hunter Douglas has wrestled really well. I think moving over to Homestead, nothing against Norwell, but I think he's got to see a lot of the top guys. I'm thankful that he moved to Homestead and they got into the Al Smith because I was able to see him there. He's incredibly fun to watch as a wrestler. He had an incredible match with Donald Bowie in the semis at the Al Smith. Parker Culp, we've talked about it ad nauseum through the year. He's a guy that was a guy that we ranked a lot of the rankings off of based on how they wrestled Parker Culp, because he has in his career has thanks Eric. I did. I got lined up. Anyone in Lowell, go see my guys right there. So
look at nothing about my fade,
dude.
It's like full fade. It's not like I went all the way. I faded it all the way off.
Dude, I thought about telling the Lowell guys to jump in there and get some cuts before. He said he's an urban barber. I mean, he played baseball. I mean, he's like a Puerto Rican dude. But Culp's a guy that really has wrestled a who's who of everybody, man. So I'm happy that he was able to qualify, because I think those guys are just grinders, man. In the bottom part there, man. And Hunter Douglas is really exciting. He had an exciting Friday night match last year against LT Hawkins. Joe was trash talking me after it. Like, I represented the entire semi-state on my back. But the match with Sessa and Haynes at Carnahan was close. That was a really close match. I thought that so I was surprised at the blowout loss at Team State, because it was 4-1. I think it was a last second takedown at Carnahan. And then 11-0 was just, kind of the pivot. I didn't see that coming, honestly. Landon Haynes has dealt with injury and dealt with incredibly tough lineups to get into. The Haynes family, I don't know if there's another Haynes on the way, but they've had an incredibly successful career at Brownsburg. It'd be weird if there's not a Haynes in the lineup next year, because there has been so many. Sonny has had an incredible career at Crown Point. His dad's one of the coaches. I don't know if his record's always reflective of how good he's been, because they wrestle such a tough schedule, and he's been in there. He's been in some really tough weight classes. He had a heartbreaking Friday night loss last year. I think to Peyton Richard. And, that's going to be a big one, man, just for team points. If Crown Point's going to win, they're going to have to reverse some of the losses that they've had, and they're going to have to win some of these matches, including, obviously Gilu and Sessa. Those are matches that maybe the momentum could ride, But if it starts going sideways, if you lose a Powers, if you lose a Strayer, you lose Gavin Lewis, then it's starting to feel like that doom and gloom, right? We've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
And but on the other side of that, if Powers can, reverse a loss and Strayer reverses a major and Lewis wins on a last second takedown, because I can't see that being a blowout. And then you come in and then now you're rolling momentum. The coaches are happy and, so, that's kind of how it goes.
Yep. And Brownsburg here in a good, what they probably feel is a good position. Haynes could have drawn into a lot of other guys.
Yeah.
Somebody you have experience wrestling against. You wrestled him twice this year. And even obviously he lost to Douglas earlier in the year, but that's not a match that you can't flip the script come Saturday morning. And now you're punching your way to the semifinals.
Yep.
A lot more points. I mean, this is a spot where I saw Brownsburg. This is one of those pivoting points with Brownsburg that they're not out of it by any means. I don't think they have a lot of, this is one of their spots where they can go from anywhere from 0 to about 12 to 15 to maybe even 20 points here. He's not out of the mix. He's good enough to make it under the lights. I will say that.
My man TJ out here being a savage, bro. I thought the salt and pepper look was in.
Yeah, he's been, like I said, he's been salty since the 219 show.
I know. That Just for Men. Oh man,
yeah,
can't bring myself to it, man. And then what if I came out here with black hair? Would be ask me what happened.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, moving on down.
It's gonna be a good quarter bracket, and I think this is another area, and it's gonna be interesting because we're gonna be walking over to the hangar, and we're just gonna be like mind blown. Like we're gonna be talking like. I think that's probably going to be one of the first things Brownsburg's in the driver's seat, Crown Point's in the driver's seat, Center Grove's in the driver's seat, or, oh boy, tomorrow morning's going to be even more fun. It could be all three tied up, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to, take a seatbelt because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Every match, we're going to be twisting and looking up at the board. Okay, like where are they at now? So.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to pay for the full seat. We're only going to use the edge.
There we go, man. Hey, again, 2-drink minimum. Tip your waitresses, guys.
So bottom quarter bracket, and this is a good quarter bracket. I could see
it is.
And that's no disrespect. I mean, anything's going to happen. It will. It has. It can. Tylen Thrine having a superb career. Not afraid to go after the competition. Last year, 3-4 day notice, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll go up to Carnahan," and took his first career losses.
Yeah,
not afraid to put second
career loss. He had lost to Jake the year before.
Yeah, so but anyway, not afraid to go out there and seek that competition. I was surprised a little bit. Just to tell you the truth, I wasn't sure what they do. It's short notice. I mean, if you're calling me as a coach and I have a guy like that,
and you said, "Hey, Joe, you guys are hosting a tournament that day. Would you want to take your best guy and take him up to north, get a hotel on short notice?"
Yeah, that'd be tough. I mean, that'd be kind of a tough sell, especially if I'm not nah. I mean, we need you for the duels, this and it wasn't even a short turnaround. Like Coach, Coach Black was pretty quick turnaround. Like, yeah, we'll go. We're interested. It wasn't. I mean, it's like one of those things. It was during the school day, so I don't know if he had pretty easy contact. I mean, you have to have your cell phone in school. Okay. But it was a pretty quick turnaround. That's what kind of more surprised me. Like it wasn't even let's think about it and talk about it after practice. It was before practice even started. So props to him doing it 2 years in a row. Not afraid to go after that competition. And he's good. He's real good.
Really good.
Good Dane Pippinger from East Noble there. Sophomore, having a good year. He's going to be one that's coming back. I think East Noble has a real good young team. They got some young guys coming up. They got some reasons coming up. Actually, I heard you want to know. We need this in the document. The reasons are going to Garrett.
Nice
To be coached by Kraus. You know what happened? So
got grounded. They said we ain't wrestling.
No, they so Sam in a group chat said that if Jackson Ensley punches his ticket to state, that he would send his sons to Garrett.
Railroaders coming up, man, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, and Sam's a man of his word. So I heard they enrolled Monday. That's
Nice.
just the rumor on the street, but that is, 99% that is a true story. So Sam is, so yeah, so I guess I should retract that statement. Reasons aren't going to East Noble; they'll be going to Garrett. So side story there. Angelo Vargo, Penn, great kid. Dad's a little wild. Peyton Richards, Switzerland County. That should be a great one. Returning fourth place finisher, Switzerland, first state placer in Switzerland County history, in the whole county, just the whole county. So that's a great quarter bracket. 3 guys with state experience. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So, Vargo, I think he lost a year to injury, a returning state qualifier. His dad is probably like, what do you think, the 5th best podcast host in the state? I mean, and we're probably up there. They,
I mean, yeah. I mean,
and then,
I put him over at Rex and Dane, so he's at least.
No, that's what I said.
Highest he's going to be his 5th.
And then, that's a tough one, man. Peyton Richards really good. Obviously, we just talked about how he had a good win over Sonny Sessa last year, Friday night. Ran into the state semifinals. He has a couple losses this year to Tylen Thrine, who we're about to pivot and talk about. Tylen Thrine has a win over Dane Pippinger by Tech Fall. Tylen Thrine, champ, third. He's never been anything but the semis. Probably the star of the show. The year he won it as a freshman, I think everyone was, like next 4-timer. Obviously, he ran into a guy that went on to win 4 of the last 2 years. His only losses in the state tournament, I think his only losses or now he has Braylon. But that could be a really good match because I think the Richards and Thrine match, and this is one of those things, if you go out and get those matches, does it pay off in the long run? And I'm not saying that Vargo can't beat Richards because that's not, but I'm just, going a different route with Richards went out of his way to go to the Carnahan. Mm-hmm. He lost to Thrine there pretty tight, 7-6. He loses them 2-0 at the Spartan Classic. Now you're getting him in the state semifinal or the quarterfinals Saturday morning. Does that pay off for them, right? Mm-hmm. I think, but if you're Peyton Richard and you're Switzerland County and you're looking past Angelo Vargo, like he's incredibly explosive. He's really good. But in Vargo and Thrine had go back, flash, rewind to, I think Vargo 7th grade, Tylen Thrine 8th grade, middle school state, probably one of the most exciting matches there. That might've been like a 25-25 match. I believe Vargo won that match. So
that was with the old scoring too.
Yeah, those are 2s and 3s, boys. So a lot of history in this bracket, but you got 3, 28, 9, and 4, and a lot of those guys have hit each other.
Yeah, should be a good one. Did Richard beat Og last year? There's a website for that. We do have a website, so in case you didn't know, we're not just a Facebook group.
I thought he beat Sonny Sessa Friday night last year.
Where'd he go? He beat Og. Yeah, he did.
Good pull, Ethan Berry. My fault.
Yes. Yeah, good one. Sometimes we're wrong.
I've been wrong.
I gotta find my bracket. My tab. There we go.
Come follow me, Ethan Berry, section 14. I'll get you a knockoff. I'll get you Kona ice, not even shaved ice no more if you want that. If that's the kind of garbage you eat.
Yeah. So Evan Stanley, 2-time placer, 1-time Illinois, 1-time Indiana. So TJ.
TJ's on it, man.
Time out.
We've missed TJ in the chat here, man. It must be a slow night at
who'syourmat.com is the website, or who'syourprepwrestling.com is also a great website too.
So all right, let's move on down. We'll get past that.
Stanley of Lowell versus Eli Hedges from Heritage Hills. He hasn't quite hit the 50 match minimum for Heritage Hills. Colt Goodman, number 15, Eric Hunt. Western had to grow good. Al Smith, and number 19, Colt Goodman, Franklin Central. Should be, Stanley's in a good spot here. Obviously, he wants to be under the lights this year.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the trajectory, right? We'll
Yeah.
throw that bottom part. I think Cole Goodman had a really good day at Newcastle to punch a ticket. I think I don't know if he was projected to win that quarter bracket. I'm sure everyone with the flashes had him picked. He's really tough. He's had some really good wins. Eric Hunt coming down a weight class, I thought it was a really good move, and they did it the right way. They were telling us for a while that he was just making his way down. He would be down for Al Smith. Had a good showing there. 30-3. He comes from a really good wrestling family. There's been a handful of Hunts wrestling for Western that's had a lot of success.
Yeah.
That'll be a good Friday night match. Obviously, it's 14-19. Eli Hedges had spent some time in the rankings or right on the cusp of the rankings. Tough one there. Evan Stanley, fourth in Illinois, third in Indiana last year. Had a really good match with Schaefer in the semis. And then the next stop's the lights. So I think he's in a good spot to be in the semis again. And obviously he's opposite of Hunter Douglas and Landon Haynes and all those guys up there. But number 2 is going to be in the bottom bracket. So could be an exciting day.
Yep. So bottom half or bottom quarter bracket, Henry Farrow, Belmont, 2-time qualifier, looking for his first ticket. He will have a tough Donald Bowie from Warren Central, who was 6th last year, battled 2 really good juniors. Mason Gales, returning state runner-up. He has Caden Morrissey, Ileana Christian's first ever state qualifier. Congrats to him. Congrats
in Indiana. They've had some in Illinois, but in Indiana.
Okay, in Indiana, yeah. What's Ileana's nickname?
The Vikings.
Vikings. Okay.
They're pretty good in baseball and softball.
Yeah, that's what Greg Rakestraw said. And I didn't realize, it seems like I didn't realize they've been fully sanctioned in IHSA for about 5 or 6 years from what he said. And it seems like it's been more recent, but I know they've had some girls that did pretty well because they were able to wrestle the girls association.
There was a couple things I forgot. If on the top part with Stanley, if we can get a Stanley Thrine finals match, that was a really good match at the Carnahan. I think it was 12-9, back and forth, and Stanley won the weight class with Vargo and Thrine when they had that shootout. So we'll go back down to the bottom. So
and Sessa did lose. He lost to Jack Davis.
Jack Davis, man, my
hidden gem of Indiana.
I should have known that was a hidden gem of Indiana because I talked to those guys down at the hangar. Dang it,
man.
Dang.
Yes. So now we have to pay Springle money for using his gimmick.
I know. We're trying not to. Right off the bat, that's going to be a really good one. I was really Henry Farrow had a really good Al Smith. 46-2, 2-time qualifier now, or 3-time qualifier now as a junior. Donald Bowie, he beat him 2-1. Donald Bowie's had some really exciting matches at the Al Smith. That's going to be a good match. I think obviously a 2-1 match a couple months ago. Warren Central always there for the for the big matches and exciting, and they'll throw some flair in there. We're going to talk about some Warren Central in about probably 15 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes maybe. That's going to be an exciting match. And obviously not as heavy of the team projections, right? But I think that's one that I look at and I'm like, dang, bro, that could be a match that's, ride outs. It could be a last second takedown, or it could be a blowout. But I think that'll be a close one.
Yeah. Bowie is not afraid to wrestle overtime.
Not at all. Exciting. He had a really exciting match with Angelo Vargo at the Al Smith. So he had a really exciting match with Hunter Douglas at the Al Smith. Warren Central goes to the Al Smith and makes exciting matches, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some guys that are gonna and they're gonna get the crowd into it, man. They I don't know, not that they're bad guys, they're great kids, man. I don't know why the crowd will boo them sometimes. I don't know. But obviously Belmont's, Belmont, they have a huge tradition. They're really good. And having a Farrow at Belmont just seems right. It just seems like everything's right in the world, right? 2
Farrows are made it to state brothers.
That's exciting. Bottom bracket. Shout out to Caden Morrissey. 4 coming out of the Crown Point Regional. We talked about the Crown Point Regional depth yesterday and how they dominated the East Chicago semi-state. Basically, the Crown Point semi-state via East Chicago now. He knocked off a really tough Origin. I see there was a little back and forth on the board for that. I didn't see it till afterwards, and I know talking with the Chesterton coaches, he had a ranked win at the regional first round. They said he was incredibly strong. So shout out to Ileana Christian coming to Indiana get punch and take. I think Indiana Christian could be a sleeper program in the region in the upcoming years based on their proximity and where they're located, um, and just kind of that they invest a lot of money in their sports. Like I know they're upgrading their school right now. Like we've talked about them having success in baseball and softball. But he has a pretty tall task. Mason Gell's number 2 in the state, so 1 and 2 on the same side. Mason Gell is a senior. He's going to Purdue or IU. IU.
Purdue.
Purdue, following his buddy to Purdue. 5th in the state, a runner-up last year to a really tough Revan Dickman. 36-4. That's gonna be a good one, and I believe he seated higher. He was seated higher at the Carnahan, I believe, right? Than Stanley was.
Yeah,
So
should be interesting. Yeah, looking forward to this weight class. Yeah,
he
Ileana
was 4th in the sectional, 4th in the regional, 4th in the
Oh, he's going to
semi-state.
IU. Oops.
Dude, Jason Cook bringing that real knowledge. I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yes.
It has.
Yes. Chase Leach.
Chase Leach was 4.
He did that as a freshman. 4.44. Yep.
That's really cool, man. Joe Stanley said he's going to IU. I thought he was going to IU, but I was.
Yeah. There's a lot of my brain's been lots been going in and out of the brain this week. So yeah, that should be a good one. Ileana Christian, it's one of those things that I mean, we said it last week or 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the sectional titles with Modern Day. You're recruiting. You are recruiting kids, and you got to obviously when you have a Christian school, that's a big sell, but also things like having good sports helps sell your school to kids.
And
it's one of those things that people don't understand that you can do is to sell your school, and that's having a good sports program is a big sell.
Well, I think, and if he pulls out that 4 for the 4 over 1 here, pretty impressive. Ileana Christian's in a good spot because I think they can pull from they're a smaller school. So if you're a Crown Point kid or you're a Lake Central kid, they're kind of in that area over there. Even like Lowell is getting pretty big. Yeah. Hanover Central is a closed district right now, so you have to live there. It's just a spot where you can kind of jump in, and they're pulling some kids from Illinois. So they're right there, like in St. John, basically. They're like, it's weird. And if you're driving over there, it's like takes you back over to 394. If you're back roading it, they have a place called like Shoe Corner. I don't know. There's just a bunch of shoes there. People just throw shoes on the corner right there by Ileana Christian. So I don't know if he's leaving some shoes there. It's good luck. I'm not really sure the meaning behind Shoe Corner, but I know a guy sings a song about it. And the first time I seen it, it was kind of like one of those weird things. So
yeah. So Thrian is going to Purdue. I have not seen that. I know I saw that he visited there. I did not see the official commitment. But again,
Cole Solomon did it also. So not as many. Not as.
That's Wendy's 4 for 4. Nice.
If there, I don't even know if there's a Wendy's downtown. If I see Caden Morrissey, if he wants a 4 for 4 from Wendy's, I got him. Bro.
Biggie bags at Wendy's is the way to go.
Spicy nuggets, I got you, bro.
So okay. So last weight class we're talking about, another great weight class.
I think Tana Kelly is pretty knowledgeable in there. She's saying he's not committed.
Yeah, I saw that he visited. I saw on Instagram that he visited there, and had the promo pictures and stuff. Said not. I'm pretty positive it said not committed. But that'd be a good place for him to go. Hopefully, it's interesting to see where he goes, and I'm gonna be very curious. I think he could be really good.
Oh yeah,
because he's been a multi-sport athlete and he's really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in college. So
yeah, dude, and he's freaky athletic, man. I think some of the stuff that he can do in matches, like just I don't even know how you train for it. Like we talked about it before, and not that I'm saying he's the same type of athlete as like a Jalen Robinson, who was like a multiple time state champion, multiple sports. But like the way he closes distance and like there's times where he just like kind of jumps over shots instead of sprawling and he lands them. And it's like, it's cool to watch, but it's like one of those things like he's probably like top 5% of athletes in the state, pound for pound. And like you can say, oh man, like I seen Tyler Thrind do this, I'm gonna do this. 95% of the kids, you probably should just sprawl and stuff the head. Like, but he's really good, man.
Yeah. So 144, we got Aiden Fernandez, returning state qualifier from California. Just got eligible right around team state. He's pretty solid. I'm looking forward to seeing him wrestle. Parker Barnes, Bluffton. Saw some of his results early on, and like, oh, this kid's not bad. Did not totally expect him to punch a ticket, and didn't realize he was only a sophomore either. So good, great year there. Obviously, has a tall task there, unranked. Number 25, Brian Thomas from Cathedral, kind of one of those Cathedral one teams. I don't think we mentioned too much. Cathedral did win semi-state there. Thomas wanted to just kind of a program kid, keep getting better every week. That's types of kids that they have over there. He has Peyton Hornsby, Center Grove, not the best matchup. So that's going to be a really good quarter bracket, and one that's very much in the team race thing, because Fernandez, I think, if he had been able to wrestle Al Smith, we'd get a little bit better grasp on that, if that ranking's true. Or he might. I mean, he's good. He was 4-2 at the California State Finals last year. Lost in the blood round.
Yeah. So I'll start that bottom part. Brian Thomas probably got the Peyton Hornsby. That used to be a little Newcastle love. Obviously Peyton Hornsby started off in New Palestine. Yeah, that's a tough draw. But Brian Thomas is that like quintessential like Cathedral kid that like just navigates his way through double-digit losses. That just improves every year. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it speaks volumes to like the staff there, because you see kids that's maybe had a lot of success growing up, and Brian Thomas might have also, but as a general statement, you see kids like just improving every year with those guys, and it just shows how good of coaches they are. Yeah. With that said, Peyton Hornsby's a Fargo champ. His in-state losses are to Braylon Reynolds. Like, he's incredibly tough. I'm thinking that Center Grove is looking for him to score major points. I don't know if as much as I look at a Brownsburg, and this is our last weight we're doing tonight, right? We did 150. Yeah. Okay. As I look at like Brownsburg, you have some guys that are like, yeah, those guys are champs. It's their tournament to lose, right? I don't know how many guys Center Grove has like that. I think they have a lot of guys that can to get medals. I think they have a lot of guys that can get to the semis, and obviously Hornsby. I don't want to say shocked the world last year. I'm sure everyone in New Palestine and Center Grove School District was like, yeah, he's beating Hyvert. You guys are overrating Hyvert. I thought Jeffrey was going to walk into a state title last year, and Saturday morning Hornsby took it to him. So now waiting in the quarters again, another landmine from New Prairie. You got Parker Barnes. Shout out to him. I did not have him on the watch list, I don't believe. Having a really good sophomore year. I guarantee he'll be in the rankings next year. Aiden Fernandez is fun to watch, and he's a showman. He's out there to put on a show. I got to talk to him at the regional, kind of asked him a little bit. I asked him if he's ever wrestled Reynolds or Hornsby at Fargo and everything. He said he's never hit those guys. He said he didn't have a great showing at Super 32, but and he had like qualified through like Virginia. He said he missed the California qualifier for Super 32 and went to Virginia to qualify for Super 32.
It's a little drive.
He has wins over in the field, semi-state champ Sam Mosier, and two really good guys out of East Chicago who we're going to talk about too, Luke Reed and Tegan Newell. Lost to Reed in the sectional, came back and beat him at the semi-state. Lost to Newell in the regional and came back and beat him at the semi-state. So he's exciting, man. And he's like, he came up after that Newell match, and it was a really good overtime match. And he was like, oh man, like, yeah, it was a tough loss, but like, I think we put on a show. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like for real. So like, he's a kid that wants to go out there and wrestle well. So I'm excited to see that match with Hornsby. His snaps and his hand fighting is really good. Obviously, he's a New Prairie kid. They do a great job of that. But his attacks off that are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and honestly, that's kind of a scary as an opponent, have someone that's not really worrying about the wins and losses, just going out there trying to score points. Those are scary kids to wrestle because you know what? They don't stop coming. And that's a that's a kid that it's wrestling is big to them. Obviously, it's very important to him, but at the same time, if it's not that winning and the wins and losses aren't the end all be off. He wants to just go out there and try to score points and stuff. That could be. I mean, Hornsby's fun too.
Yeah.
So
Oh
that could
yeah.
be a wild Saturday morning match. I'm kind of looking forward to that because I haven't seen Fernandez wrestle, and I know Hornsby's really good, really tough, and that could be a barn burner right there, right? Saturday morning, and teams both all still jockeying for position.
Yeah. And like obviously, like Hornsby, and I think he ended up teching Newell, and then Newell and Fernandez has been good matches, but styles make matchups, man. That's a lot of offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So next quarter bracket, Sam Mosier Delta, returning fourth place finisher, Carter Hall, Hanover Central, who you did not have ranked. Two
He was
guys
in the rankings at some point.
man, this top bracket, you just got pummeled.
Yeah.
Asa Spencer, Evansville Mater Day Jr., number 14, and Adam Brewer Batesville. This bracket is the best chance for someone to get to the for an unranked wrestler to get a medal. I guess the 190 Anderson was Lucas Anderson was a semi-state team. That's probably the best. But might be the first time ever having all ranked guys with state placers. But this should be an interesting quarter bracket. Mosier's in a good spot to make the semifinals again.
Yeah. Asa Spencer had a really good ticket round match. Also, another guy coming over to Mater Day this year. I would say I did sleep on Adam Brewer. I think it's tough because I don't get to see a ton of Batesville results. But he's had a good year, so that one probably did slip through the cracks a little bit for me. Carter Hall, that was a tough one, man. He had been in the rankings a little bit. He had a couple losses to Dalton Robson. He had a really tough loss to Ryan Kokendorfer of Garrett at Team State. But the four from Crown Point Regional all punched their tickets here, and that was kind of what everyone was saying that. And I think the top 5 there could have been really good because I thought Dalton Robson was tough. But that'd be an interesting match. Did they hit each other head that wrestled at Team State, right? No, he bumped up to wrestle Joe Pawn. So they got some tape on him. Mosier obviously wrestled Joe Pawn. Carter Hall is exciting. When he wrestles his match, I think that he's really good. But I think he's, obviously what happens to a lot of young guys, he tends to wrestle the pace of the other guy he's wrestling. I believe he's from like Newcastle, or not Newcastle. I think he's from Evansville. I don't know how they ended up in the region, but I thought they said he was a Mauer Coughlin kid growing up. But Sam Mosier does a great job. He's a guy that holds position well. He's a guy that I don't feel like is going to beat himself. And that's going to win him a ton of matches. He got him to the state semifinals last year. He's really good. I think that's a guy that's never going to put himself in a position you're like, what are you doing? Like, he holds position. He listens to coaching well. He's come from a long line of wrestling family. So, yeah, you're right. He put himself in a really good position there to make another run to the semifinals.
Yep. So the last half bracket we're going to talk about, Cash Mays, Zionsville, coming over from Brownsburg, having a real good junior year. Keegan Yoakum from Franklin Community, having a good senior year. I think he's been in the mix, had some good wins over his career, and punched his ticket to state. Not obviously the best draw there. Luke Reed, returning fourth place finisher. He has Gabriel Myers from Belmont, sophomore, runner up in Fort Wayne. So that could be, some good matches right there in that quarter bracket.
Yeah, I'll start on the bottom part. Gabe Myers, sophomore, 21, in the state. He's tough, man. Obviously, Belmont's one of those programs where you see a lot of names that have been in that history of that program. They had all their third placers, I believe, this year at the Adams Central Belmont match. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of, they might just pulling dads and uncles out of the stands. Like like you had a lot of the same guys that are wrestling now that's been in that program and that community. And I think that's really a really cool thing. I know we used to go up and watch the main event when Perry Meridian and Mishawaka were there. And it would just be cool to see a lot of the Belmont alumni come back and watch. Mm-hmm. So a huge wrestling community. With that said, Luke Reed's a dog, man. Luke Reed's a guy that's going to go at you for the entire period. Not only that, he's a really good jiu-jitsu guy. I think he's like won some international stuff jiu-jitsu wise. A state semifinalist last year. Doesn't care if he's winning, losing, he's attacking, and I like that about Luke. Works hard. I know he's in that how room with those guys all the time, wrestling some of the best guys that we've talked about. So like he's kind of put in a good spot here. I think of the twos, maybe that's probably or the threes. He's a three of the guys that were two that might be the best spot for him, but I think don't sleep on a Myers from Belmont Friday night, right? Top part of that bracket. Keegan Yoakim, what'd you say, Yoakum? Yoakum, like Dwight Yoakam. Dude, he's got one hitter quitter, right? Like he's tough. He put on a show last year, I believe, at the sectional. He's a guy that's dangerous. A lot of the Tante trained guys are very dangerous. They're never out of matches. If you let up for a second, he's a guy that could put you away. Not only do they put you to your back, they put you away. We talked about it at the team state, right? Like
we did.
Well, it's one of those things that like when those guys get you to their back, it's not like, oh, we're trying to tilt you or we're trying to get you. They're like going for falls. Like they understand the assignment. Like if we get 6, we're winning, right?
Yes.
Cash Mays, like we talked about the Brownsburg staff and school district. He just a tough spot, man. Obviously, the number 1 ranked wrestler in the state is in his weight class, and they were cool with him. Hey, man, we want you to go somewhere and compete.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes away from our depth, but we want you to go compete. Yeah. And I don't know if that was the conversation, but like I'm thankful that they are the program that they are, and they allow guys to leave because there is some programs, some top programs where you've seen eligibility be held. Dude, you've seen like mid-level programs hold eligibility, and you're just like gutted for those guys.
Yeah, I talked to Snyder about this a couple years ago, and it was over the summer, and he was talking about one of the guys that was looking to possibly transfer, and he was kind of like trying to facilitate, like, hey, what about here? What about there? And he said that he had talked to their AD. He's like, this kid needs the opportunity to wrestle. Okay, I don't want to block his transfer. And then they switched it. They got a new AD, and he was like, he was like flabbergasted to be like, damn it, I wish they'd have transferred before, so that the old AD would have signed everything off. Yeah. And everyone signed off. Obviously, the kid was fine and everything, but he was kind of worried that now we're just in there just transferring pretty locally. So I mean,
dude, and
we want to see these kids wrestle. We want to see Cash Mays wrestle. We want to see him wrestle in JV.
I don't want to talk about what Cash Mays could be doing when he can be doing it. And we're in a state where you're not allowed to enter multiple kids in the bracket. Mm-hmm. Like I'm happy that he's there, and he went out and won Newcastle.
Yeah,
that speaks to like how good that program is. Like the guy was he was their 6-pounder as a freshman, right? No, yeah, he was. And then and has been it was a backup last year, but he was really good. He was really tough. And then he gets in the lineup for another school at Zionsville. And good for Zionsville, man. You guys got it. That's a good program. Those are good coaches. I believe his dad coaches there too, right?
Yeah.
And dude goes out and gets it done, man. I'm really happy for them, and I'm very respectful to like the system that they're in, because there's a lot of, we talk about the other side of it a lot. I don't think we talk about the negative a lot. We don't always focus on the positive of those situations.
Yeah.
And
and he's only a junior. I mean,
yeah.
And that's a spot where Brownsburg is like, man, obviously he would be in a rough spot this year, but man, next year we could definitely use him with some of those, with Gibbs and Parker Reynolds graduating,
yeah,
easily right back in that lineup. But you gotta do what's best for the kids. They're kids. They have 4 years to do it. Let them do it. I just let them do it.
They got a pretty good eighth grader coming in too, so I think they'll be all right.
Yeah. So last quarter bracket, Malachi Tholner from New Haven, tough sophomore, lost a close one in the ticket round last year. Yes, Tegan, aka Tejon, New Ed.
0 Tejans this year in the bracket East Chicago, man.
Yeah. Returning state qualifier, placed 8th as a freshman. 6 and 10. That's not an easy match. Both are kind of gonna be tall and lanky. That should be a good one. I wonder if they've hit each other in some of the offseason stuff. I know Tholner wrestles a lot. Braylon Reynolds, number 1 in the state, turning runner up. He has Stephen Hunter, Lawrence North, and a program that I mean they're doing a great job there. Coach Avon, crew, and Wesley Bernard, super great guys, and I think they're a little bit crazy, but I think that's perfect for that program, and they're getting those kids to wrestle real well. Braylon Reynolds a couple years ago in Evansville had a big quarterfinal match against Crown Point, so I'm sure Tejan is looking to enact some revenge there for the Bulldogs in the quarterfinals, possibly. So a team race, that's a team race. You don't have a crazy circle like that. Reynolds is really good, but at the same time, they're going to be hitting up, and Crown Point Newell could easily be in the semifinals in any of the other quarter brackets. Now he's got the number 1 guy though.
Yeah. And Newell's losses are that 11 losses like a who's who of Indiana. Like we talk about the pivot guy.
Oh boy,
like he's hit all of them. And his dad lets me know every single time that they're about to smash these rankings. That'd be an exciting match. Is Stolner got red hair also or no?
Yes.
Dude, ginger matchup. Let's go.
Somebody's soul is going home.
Dude, let's go. So that'd be a good one. Teague's wrestling really well. Like obviously he won a really tough regional with Fernandez and Luke Reed. He holds position well. I think he understands wrestling at a high level. Like sometimes I think he gets caught like at the Mount Carmel duel last year, roughing his own matches. I don't think you need to do that, but like he's really tough. He holds his distance well. He's scrappy. He's a guy that like just kind of goes out and wrestles. He doesn't care. And Thulnar, like obviously was in a really tough room last year, getting a lot of work with Easton Doster. I had him like punching a ticket last year. Like you said, he was upset in the semi-state, but that'd be a good one Friday night. And I believe I've been wrong a couple times on the show tonight. Last year it was Tegan Newell versus New Haven up at 150, coming down to 44 because I believe he had Easton Doster Friday night last year.
Yes.
So they're familiar with that purple singlet. He's going to
try Bulldog on Bulldog crime going on here.
On Bulldog crime. Bulldog on Bulldog crime, right?
Man, you got 3 Bulldog. Man, we're going to have to change Lawrence North from the Wildcats to Bulldogs.
Bottom part, Braylon Reynolds, one of the most exciting wrestlers in the state. Super athletic, super strong. Dude put on at the Iron Man, hit a mixer, comes back, wrestling Clinton Shepard. Shepard's on at 44. I think he was like in the distance of a major, at a major, hits a mixer on Clinton Shepard. The whole Brownsburg side goes crazy. And then he puts his glasses on like he's Superman, right? Then he's just regular Braylon Reynolds. He takes them off, then he goes. He's exciting, man. We talked about it at Evansville. He had a huge win. I think that was kind of part of the derailing of that Crown Point train. They were trying to be the top team of all time. I don't know if that was the first match that didn't go. I think maybe the genders match might have been the first match that didn't go their way. But he had reversed 2 losses. Now, foreshadowing, those matches were much closer than the Newell and Reynolds matches were.
Yeah.
But Reynolds and Hawkins were very close matches that Hawkins had won. Flash forward, Reynolds won that one. Now in a similar situation where you have the defending champs trying to break, go for another one, and you got another Bulldog maybe trying to knock that out. I do think that Teague went at Braylon pretty tough at Team State. He ended up getting teched, but he came out the gate fire, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah. I'm gonna say out of this quarter bracket, Bulldogs in the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, now Stephen Hunter's about to wreck shop. Don't sleep on those guys. Well coached, good athlete. 34-5. Just tough draw, man. You get the number 1 ranked guy. That guy doesn't get number 1 because he's, someone's buddy. Dude was 30 or probably less than 30. You think 5 seconds away from being a state champ last year?
Yeah.
To a guy that
beat his 3 seconds in a call that I still don't know what the right call is.
I think and then you watch and you're like, oh man, like Schaefer, that was a really good match. It was a great match. And then you pivot and you see Schaefer go out and beat Jake Hockaday at the Indy the Greyhound Open, and you're like, oh, so Schaefer's the real deal too. He's pretty good at these last second takedowns. So
yeah. So yeah, good break weight class. As Coach Cook said, Reed beat Newell and Fernandez first.
Yep.
Newell beat Fernandez and Reed next, and then Fernandez beat Newell and Reed. So I don't know what that means, other than they just, I mean, three really good wrestlers trading wins and losses. So it should be
and kind of three guys that do it differently too.
Yeah, three totally different styles. So that's interesting. So that's our
team race is going to be awesome. It's going to be a really good team race, I assume. And we're saying Brownsburg, Center Grove, or Crown Point, and watch it be like New Prairie. Watch it be Lowell. Like,
yeah, Lowell has some horses, and so does New Prairie. New Prairie they both have some guys. They have 3 or 4 guys that can really make things interesting if the other teams kind of falter and they stumble, and it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I know that's probably going to be a lot of what we're talking about Friday night is who's aligned best for the team race. And
at least we know my boy Lorik ain't going to lose any hair.
yes. So we are going to rank, and I need to find it because I had the thing. I don't know the best way to do this because
John Teal, Delta, dude, shout out to Delta. They have been wrestling well. Shout out to Coach, the count, man, also. So yeah, we encourage you guys, if you're in the chat, if you want to throw up your favorite singles all the time as we go, go for it, man. We have a consensus number 1. We're gonna do top 5, but we have a consensus number 1. We're taking it off the board because it's such a classic. We don't want to be disrespectful.
So now, do I need? I want to show these, so I don't know how to do that. I think, but I don't know. I guess I'll just put it in the chat what our rankings are because I don't know any other way to do it. So I'm going to share our screen, and these are some of the singlets that I was putting them together last night and today to kind of. Whoop, we want that right there, and I'll highlight the ones when we go over them. Come on, put that up there. Put that up there. What's going on here?
You know it's tough, man. When Joe's struggling with technology, this isn't the mic riser this isn't like
there we go. Let's try. Oops, I'll try to eat this again.
All right.
Okay. There we go. Okay, we're good now.
Is it Mike Reiser going first this time?
Yeah. So okay. Let's do our number 1. We're just gonna say it. We know it. Now I gotta find it. So I had a good one of it. I did put it up there. Our number 1. Our number 1 is the modern day. Where'd it go? I just put it. I know I put it in there. I swear I put it in there.
Right there in the left corner.
Yeah. Modern day with the tights.
Yeah. Man, I really do think Modern Day dropped the ball. Whether it was they didn't bring tights or not. When they're in Evansville, they had 2 finalists. If they would have came out in the tights, 2 dubs, place would have went nuts. I'd have been going nuts. I think that'd have been pretty cool. But yeah, we both kind of said Modern Day, and we said, all right, we're taking that off the board.
Yes. So Mike, number 5.
So my number 5. I felt I talked to my guy Paul Maldonado today. He said South Bend Riley used to have some really cool finalist singlets. He thought that they were the first team to bring out finalist singlets. My first guy that I saw with finalist singlets, even though like it kind of went crazy at the point. First team I seen with it other than Lehigh, Griffith, the Alex Sertzis championship white singlet with the stripes with the Griffith on the front. After that, I felt like a lot of teams had that look, but he was the first one. Griffith was the first ones I seen with that. So,
yep, that's a really good one. Yeah, that was just kind of iconic of them. They also had like the black ones that I think that Angel would wear. Okay, so I have. Okay, so my number 5. It's kind of 2 of them. It's actually 1, but it's the Lowell singlets. Let's see. Where's the black one? darn it. I did not put these in good enough order. Okay. This isn't the best one. This is our guy, Brendan Black. Or Hobart. That's what I meant. Sorry. Um, Hobart Black with Hobart Black with is it Johan? Is that what they call him? Hobart.
Coach Balish, the model for Johan, the mascot.
This is pretty sweet. That one's really cool. They also had the other one. Where'd it go?
It's down a little bit. Down.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool too. As the gold one. Bigger Johan in there. So pretty cool on the side. I kind of like. I'm kind of partial to the ones with the ones on the side. So those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought those were really cool singlets too, especially Brendan Black, all black singlet. I thought that was pretty cool in the lights.
Yep. So
my number 4, I thought was really cool. The Castle singlet with the lightning bolt on the chest. We might see it again this weekend, but I think that's a pretty cool singlet.
Yes, that is pretty cool. Yeah, I saw that one. I was going through some of the ones. I was like, "Ooh, I like that one. That one's kind of plain."
I thought,
plain, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I thought Franklin Central, the year that I forgot who the guy was in the finals at 140. I thought he also had a lightning bolt on his singlet too, which was pretty cool. We couldn't find that one, but that one is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So my number 4. I know you were going to go after this one. I claimed it. We did not. We did collaborate, so we do know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Is the gold pen singlet right there. Yeah. Drew Hildebrandt. I could do all gold sing. I love that one. That's pretty. I like the gold ones. They're really good looking gold singlets. Yeah, pen gold singlet. I can't wait to this graphic because I think this is going to get a lot of hate. I'm going to put this up in the morning. I'm going to do this since we're going to get done at a decent time. So pretty good one there. So,
my number 3 has a lot of meaning to me, and I actually have a couple stories for it. The IndianaMat Thurman Stone State Finals singlet. So I did for us at IndianaMat, like if you weren't varsity, I wasn't varsity as a freshman. You had to wear these nylon, high cut boys. I got a little bit of backside on me. I felt like I was hanging out a little bit. So you wanted that lycra one. So it took a lot to get to those. They had a special place in our heart. And the wrestling community, I told Joe this before we got on. I had to ask Watkins before. IndianaMat's high school colors are white and red. And the wrestling team uses black and maroon. And I had asked before, hey, why are we different than everybody else? He said that I believe it was Roland Beckham. When they very first got their singlets, they had they had white on their singlets, and that they wrestled so hard that they kept getting bloody that they said, we're just going to buy maroon singlets because it's already going to be maroon anyways. So they went with the maroon singlet and black so they can hide the blood when they're out there wrestling.
Nice.
Dude, shout out to my boy Thurman, still one of my guys. Bro, that's back in them days when 35-pounders were big. Thurman was a big 35.
Yeah, yes, he was. He is huge in that picture.
Dude, Thurman, and shout out to the guys. We talked about South Bend, Washington last night. Vince Minor, repeat from the semi-state. But yeah, Thurman was a big 35. We were talking about weigh-ins. I'd be willing to bet he was 65 in that picture.
Oh yeah, there's the one at the tights that I could not find.
Yep, and he got the number on it, so you can't even steal the single.
Yeah, yes, so you can't even steal. So you have to turn that in. Coach Gable wasn't messing around. He didn't trust Coughlin there, did he? So my number 3, the Camden Eppert Anderson Highland plaid singlet. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I will mention. I know we were both probably have this on the honorable mention. The Highlander, the Floyd Central. That one's pretty sweet.
That one was cool, man. Yeah. Those Anderson Highland when there was Brandon Wright and Camden Eppert, you knew when that singlet was coming out, it was going to be a war. So
yes. And Warren always had the good singlets. We'll talk about Warren here in a minute.
Yeah. My number 2, a little bit more recent. Those Mishawaka final singlets. Man, I thought with the caveman, leopard print, the Joe Walker ones, I thought that was a really cool singlet. When they broke those out.
There it is, this one.
I
Yeah,
thought
those are sweet.
that's a pretty dope singlet, man.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I like those. I wish there was about he would have worn that one more under the lights. Mitch Roy had some cool singlets.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is the Danny Williams Fire Warren Central Flames singlet. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That Warren Central overall has. I mean, we could have done top 5, both of us, with different singlets with Warren Centrals in there.
Yeah, we were gonna put that's in my honorable mentions. My number 1, the Cathedral Gold singlet with the green. Dude, I just think that thing pops, man. I think that's a really cool singlet. Obviously, we've seen that a bunch. They've had so much success, but when they bring that thing out, man, that thing's pretty awesome.
Yep. Yeah, that's a classic, and obviously a great program, the Cathedral Gold singlet. So my number 1, a little bit, obviously I can be biased. I'm not gonna lie. The only ones in the state, the Carol Zubaz singlets. I believe Joey Warner likes to wear that one, so we might see that one at state this weekend. One of a kind singlet. I thought they were really cool. So had to go with those. I mean, you can't go wrong with Zubaz. I mean, good old Zubaz pants. Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the better ones. Our honorable mention list, obviously, you guys are probably looking at this and seeing, wow, there's a lot of good honorable mentions. That we have, and I'll say I like every one of Mike's picks. We made sure we picked different ones.
We went back and forth. We didn't want to pick the same ones, and then like we kind of last night on the after show, we were like, hey, if you pick this one, I'll pick this one.
Yeah, we had a draft, snake draft.
So the honorable mentions for me, we kind of talked about it. Dude, the whole Warren collection, man. Shout out to Warren Central. Those dudes got some cold singlets, man. Not only the Flames, they got that gold Warren one with the W. They got like a white one and a black one with like paint speckles.
I like that one.
That one's cool, man. The Trent Pruitt one, I think he's on your. This one here is cool. Like they got a really cool like thing of singlets. Joe had this one. That's that
I want to see that full. I saw a little bit of it, but yeah, that one's really cool. I thought I had another picture.
It has like a warrior on it. I'm sure Coach Tante has a better pick of that one. I think that was a really cool singlet, man. I seen that. I was like, man, the design on it, and so the TJ already said it. The Hanover Central Baby Blue is up there for me. Like obviously you've seen a lot of really tough guys wearing that under the lights on the honorable mention. And then the Darren Elkins
under the lights, that one.
Yeah, right there. We got Petrov under there. Yeah. The Darren Elkins era Portage singlet. I used to call it the Lucky Strike, but man, I thought that thing was really cool. It looked like a pack of cigarettes on his chest, but those dudes probably weren't smoking. Man, maybe they were smoking cigarettes. I don't know. I thought that was a cool singlet. And then my last one, just because like of the guys that are in the chat that like knew Coach Vlink's Crown Point Bulldogs were very traditional red singlet, white CP with they had like these red high socks. And I think they started getting away from the high socks a little bit when Jason and Eric Roach were there. But the year that they broke out those white Crown Point singlets, I was like shocked that they had those, and it was pretty cool because it was such a cool like break from tradition, and like that group was so good, man. So
those are my. I did not get the Crown Point one in the pictures. I will have to add that.
If you Google Jesse Mendez, you'll see it.
Yeah. So my honorable mentions, obviously, I like all Mike's picks. The Lowell old school.
I believe that's the Marcus Shantube singlet too.
Shantube. That's one of my favorites. That was one of the guys. I won't repeat too many of yours. I'm looking through the other ones I had in my list. This is always an interesting one. The tears. I
Yeah,
like the orange and black. I don't know if I don't the Laporte tears. That's what we
and
call them. We had a set at Carroll.
and they're the slicer, so it kind of works. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I mean, it's the orange and black. I like orange and black. Obviously, I went to Finley, orange and black. I do like the Floyd Central Highlander one. So let me see. Let me continue my. That's a plaid, I guess. It's not plaid. Plaid. And where's another one? I know I have another one that I really wanted to. Someone did mention the sheriff one. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like the, I guess, gladiator of the Chesterton. I thought that
yeah.
was pretty cool.
Chesterton had a couple cool ones. They had a plaid one in there too. I think you had it with Brock Ellis on there.
Yeah, they did. Um,
Uh, Mason Paris had some really cool ones that we saw.
yeah, so I think those are mine. I do have the Paris one in there as one. That was
Uh,
that one. They had the flames on the side.
Got a tiger in the chest.
Yeah, he had another one. I think I had another one of him.
Yeah, I thought you did
Yeah,
too.
right there, the big tiger there. That's pretty cool. So him and Frankie, his buddy Frankie. So yeah, some good ones there. I like some of the. I just saw this one late. The Roncalli. They're not the Rebels anymore, but they had some kind of cool, simpler singlets. They had that one, and then that Viduia right there, just the white and red. So and then the old Portage. That one looks like the oversized singlet.
If we had that one like 5 minutes after that, it'd been covered in blood.
Yeah. So there's a Chesterton one, Battle of the Plaid singlet, or the yeah. So a lot of cool singlets. I'm excited to hear people's what they are, what they think. I'm gonna make the graphic up tonight and run it in the morning. I gotta figure out exactly the best way to put them on there. But yeah, the Warren Central. I mean, we could have each done 5 of Warren Centrals, and I was like, man, I don't want to put too many Warren Centrals on there because I don't know. I like their colors are good. They were whoever's designed their singlets.
Dude, they're the Oregon Ducks of the Indiana wrestling singlet world.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
So if anyone from Warren Central's in the finals this weekend, man, you gotta get that Danny Williams boy, that flame, break that thing out.
Find the Danny Williams one. Get that in the. Heck, I don't care. Wear it on Friday night. I do like the cathedral green ones too.
Yeah, I do too. You can match them with some Stefan shoes. They kind of got flames like them Danny Williams ones. The inspiration, maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, some good singlets. I went through a lot of state brackets. Indian Creek did have the tuxedo singlets.
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when Danny Bradley won it, like wore Team Indiana singlet
on
Friday
night? It's like, hey, they obviously didn't have enough singlets for him to wear, so he just wore the Team Indiana one. That's awesome.
Yeah, so like that's one of the ones like we hope that more people are interactive with that because I actually thought this was like a 2-year in the making like one we had.
Yeah. There's a lot of good singlets. I hopefully people post the pictures because I'm gonna be like we could probably make a top 20.
Oh yeah.
So that'd be pretty cool. I just gotta now figure out the best way to make a cool graphic with that, with all the singlets there. Who had over that was Avon had those as club singlets.
Yeah, I had to tell Mike Morgan we weren't gonna add like Disney dual singlets and like Virginia Beach they had like a Star Wars one and
yeah.
So we're just looking at high school singlets right now.
Yeah. Even though like I know some of those teams like Warren and Brownsburg and them and Perry has some good ones too.
Yeah, Perry did have some good ones.
Yeah, they always had. I'm not a big fan of pinstripes. They had some nice like pinstripe ones that I didn't dislike, but I just not a big fan of pinstripe. That's for baseball. But some of those teams would wear their Disney singlets and say like Brownsburg Wrestling Club or whatever.
Mike Morgan said his number 1 pick was the Nate Moore like Perry Meridian pinstripe one under the lights. I couldn't find a picture of it, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Nate Moore. Hold on. You said Nate Moore.
It was like a pinstripe one. Yeah,
he was a. Nate Moore would have been, I think, about 2002, right?
Yeah, 2002, 2003, possibly.
See, that's O'Brien, Palmore, O'Brien.
Yeah, it takes a lot to wear a vertical stripe there.
Yeah. There we go. Here we go. I can. Let me reshare this.
This was the Mike Morgan pick.
Um, let's see if we can share that one again.
I think Nate Moore's doing some personal training in India or something. I seen that they posted. Dude did have some quads, bro.
Yeah. There we go. There's that one.
The baby blue with the pinstripe. They said he said that was his pick. So
yeah, there you go. Not the best picture, but you get it. You get the picture. So yeah, that was kind of cool. That'd probably be about the only pinstripes I would pick. I don't know. It's been overdone up here, and so that's probably why I don't care for them. You know, who's the singlet? Oh, Mendez. Oh, Uhl had a cool one.
Who?
Andy Uhl. I've never seen this one. I was just looking at that's Hector wrestling right there.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen that one. Right there. That's pretty cool.
Hector Mendez wearing that classic-y Chicago. I feel like that was their singlet. Everyone, I don't know if they had a secondary singlet.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes those old, just no one change. Obviously, modern day has a couple different singlets now, but some of the old school ones that are just, kind of like the old Iowa type singlets. They do their thing. So, yeah. Cosgrove had what we did say. Cosgrove had like the purple one that was like skin tight, and
that was a high cut boy
by a couple threads.
Yeah.
So, that should be a good one to go over. So
Kim told me she likes the Columbus East ones with the O on the side.
Yeah, Columbus East has some good ones. I just could not find any good pictures of their singlets. I did like the white ones with the O's. They had a couple other good ones. They have a pretty good mascots to use for singlets and stuff, and they always have quite a few. Even some of their doublets have been pretty good.
Yeah.
So, whew. Not as many episodes this week, but we will be Friday. After the first round, meet us at the hangar. We'll have some food. We'll have some fun. And
so if you're walking out of the stadium like you're going to walk to the Hyatt Place, hang a left, go under the bridge, you'll be right there.
Yep, it's right there. It's like 2 blocks away. There's gonna be food. There are beverages, whether they're if you want there. It's gonna be only really last year is only like all wrestlers, so it's not gonna be overcrowded by the indie folks. Hopefully. So it's a lot of fun to just sit there and talk. I know Indiana Tech coaching staff was there and a lot of other people there. So come join us.
Yep.
Free to get in. You get to hang out with us.
And if
maybe get some gear.
If you have some good stuff, we might put you on the mic, get some breakdowns.
Yep. Yeah.
If you bring some dice, we'll bring some dollars. We'll throw some click clack.
Just like the good old days.
Just like the good old days.
Price cooked in. Man, I got a picture of Cook here. I can throw up there too. He had just the plain green ones. Come on.
He's a traditionalist, man.
Simple. So, well, thank you guys for joining us. We will be back. Man, we almost went 3 hours tonight. But we will be back Friday night. Come say hi to us at State. Good luck to all the wrestlers. Safe travels. I'm looking forward to a great week. Next couple days, I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff on the website. So you won't be hearing me, but you'll be seeing the work. So
make sure you make weight. Be healthy. Yep. If you're sick, hydrate.
Yep. And TJ, you come to State. We'll put you on the mic. I will promise you that. Come up there. Come to the. All you do is come. You don't even have to watch wrestling. You can just come to hang out at the hangar with us. We'll put you on the mic, so that y'all behave a little bit better.
Dude, I don't know if we can do that.
So, with that, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys all Friday.